It's Tuesday, January 13th. Statistics Canada confirms 100 employees will be laid off this week as the effort to shrink the size of government continues.
That positions us as a modern region so that we will attract new opportunities and build up confidence in our business community.
A step forward in the planning of Canada's first high-speed rail network connecting Toronto to Quebec City. Public engagement is now underway right here in the capital.
Center with a hard shot, and a good stop made there by Reimer.
And the Ottawa Senators hope their new signee goalie, James Reimer, can help improve their deteriorating season. Your Morning Ottawa starts right now.
Good morning and welcome. I'm Rosie Eden.
Happy Tuesday, everybody. I'm Willa Yellow.
And I'm Melissa Lamb.
And hopefully what you just stated there, the Sens can turn it around, maybe with some new people on the squad, because they've definitely been in a rough patch.
Absolutely. Well, fingers crossed.
Yeah, and we'll see what's going to happen coming up and who they've signed. Details just along the way. Starting with our news headlines, things are about to get very real in the nation's capital when it comes to job losses for federal public servants. CTV has learned that layoffs are underway at Statistics Canada. So according to a memo obtained by CTV, 100 positions are immediately affected, and those employees will be notified this week. The plan is to cut another 750 jobs over the next 2 years and to reduce the number of executive positions by 12%. According to the memo, employees who are impacted will be told by their managers. The size of the department has grown in recent years. In 2019, there were 5,400 employees, and in 2025, there were more than 7,200. This is just one of several departments notifying employees of upcoming layoffs. Last summer, nearly all departments were asked to find 15% in savings in the coming years.
Hospitals in our region are under pressure as some, such as the Queensway Carleton Hospital, are forced to open up more unconventional spaces to treat patients.
Hallways do become a patient care environment, and we've had to even go into public settings within a patient care unit. So we have like common dining room areas, which we've had to remove a significant amount of the tables and furniture within the space and then convert that into unconventional patient care spaces.
Much of the increased pressure is due to high numbers of influenza cases, particularly impacting people with pre-existing conditions. In a statement to CTV News, a spokesperson for the hospital says occupancy is at 114%, with medicine units at 133% and 27 patients in the emergency department currently waiting for an inpatient bed. The hospital spokesperson adds, in the last week, non-admitted patients have been forced to wait an average of 13 hours.
Plans for Canada's first high-speed rail network connecting Toronto to Quebec City are taking another step forward. This is with the new public engagement officially underway in Ottawa. Canada's first high-speed rail project is being developed by Alto, starting with a proposed line connecting Ottawa and Montreal. Project leaders say early consultations will help determine station locations, community benefits, and how the rail line fits into existing cities. Business leaders argue the project could bring long-term economic gains, new job opportunities, and faster connections between major urban centers.
That positions us as a modern region so that we will attract new opportunities and build up confidence in our business community and create new entrepreneurship opportunities.
According to Alto, the train would make travel from Ottawa to Montreal just under 1 hour and Ottawa to Toronto just under 2. Public consultation will begin next week on its website.
Nurses and personal support workers are protesting planned job cuts at the Royal Ottawa's long-term care facility.
Go home! Cuts,
Members of CUPE say planned cuts will affect both patients and staff and that 15 positions will be eliminated. The Royal did not confirm that, but says the staffing changes are part of routine workforce planning and that patient safety is its top priority.
A celebration of life will be held next week for community advocate Tyson Lefebvre. He passed away on Christmas Day, surrounded by his family at the Queensway Carleton Hospital. Lefebvre was born with a rare genetic condition that causes skull bones to fuse prematurely. Throughout his life, he worked tirelessly to support the community. He raised $1 million for Make-A-Wish Canada. His celebration of life will be held at the Canadian Tire Centre on January 20th.
The U.S. Department of Justice is threatening to indict Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell over testimony he gave last summer about office building renovations. In a rare statement, Powell says the move is politically motivated.
The threat of criminal charges is a consequence of the Federal Reserve setting interest rates based on our best assessment of what will serve the public, rather than following the preferences of the president.
The Fed is an independent agency, just like the Bank of Canada, and has been repeatedly attacked by the U.S. president for not cutting interest rates sharply enough. Powell says he will continue to carry out his duties without fear, with a focus on price stability and maximum employment.
James Reimer will now be stopping pucks for the Sens.
Back center of the hard shot. And a good stop made there by Reimer.
So the team has signed him to a one-year contract with a salary of $850,000. This comes amid Linus Ullmark's leave of absence. This 37-year-old has played 525 regular season games in the NHL and last played for the Sabres.
Looks, passes, Verhaeghe, Richard scores!
The Sens are hoping the move will help solidify their goaltending as they try to break free from a 4-game losing streak. Sens are back on home ice today, hosting the Canucks at 7 p.m.
An unusual face-off between two very different animals at a zoo in Poland.
That is a muntjac deer, weighing in at 17 kilograms. Going face-to-face with a massive Indian rhino, tipping the scales at nearly 1,700 kilos.
But with no fear. In the end, it was the diminutive deer that chased away the huge rhino. Zookeepers say that it was all fun and games for the gentle giant, but the smaller animal's defense was sincere as it was protecting its mate.
How cute.
I love this.
Right?
Yeah.
No fear. Look at that. And going ahead,
yeah.
not even just like not backing off, but actually attacking and going towards the rhino.
You could tell the rhino's kind of being playful about it. I guess probably he knows his size and it's like, oh, you're so cute. Let's have some fun.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Let's
I
just
could
play.
destroy you, so we'll just do a couple of head turns and we'll make you feel tough.
But the little deer was like, no, I mean business. You
Yep.
stay away.
I like that too. And protecting the mate, that's so cute.
That is a cute. That's your cute animal video of the day.
There you go.
We always like to provide you with at least
That's
one
right.
throughout the show.
Oh, not so cute as the forecast for today. It's going to be very messy, especially on the commute home. The drive-in won't be so bad. We could see some flurries this morning or some light drizzle. Temps fairly mild, -1 to start off your morning. Feels closer to -4, but the nice mild temps are coming to an end. 0 throughout Pembroke, Cornwall, Brockville this hour. Kingston still not registering this morning. So we are expecting some flurries. We could see some light flurries this morning or some freezing drizzle to start off your morning. That can continue right through until the late part of your afternoon. Then today around 3 p.m., that's what we're expecting snow to start. Periods of light snow starting around 3 p.m. But you could see this system because temperatures will be quite mild throughout the day ahead. We could see it mixed in with some rain and some freezing rain, especially into the overnight. So temperatures will actually be quite warm overnight tonight, hovering around 2 degrees. We could see some wet snow. We could see some freezing rain, which is this pink band. And then the green is rain. So we could also see periods of rain. And we could see quite a bit of snow on the way as well. 5 to 10 centimeters starting at 3 p.m. and continuing into your early morning hours tomorrow. So at this point, we're not quite sure what we will see as temperatures hovering just above that freezing mark. So really we could see a wintry mix of the freezing rain, snow, and rain all combined into one. Early tomorrow morning, it will flip back to snow. So periods of light snow to start off your day throughout Wednesday. Today's daytime high is 2 degrees. Again, we're expecting some snow, some freezing drizzle, and then the real heavy snow starting around 3 p.m. later on this afternoon. Overall, a nice warm day across the region today. Temperatures above that freezing mark. 1 is the daytime high in the valley as well as a Bancroft. 2 for Trenton, Kingston. Same with us here in Ottawa and over along Cornwall. 1 is the daytime high in the valley today. 1 as well in Mont-Tremblant. So here's a look at that 7-day forecast. Now, the warm temperatures will come to an end on Thursday, and we have a bit of a cold snap moving through. 2 is the high for today. Messy weather on the way, 5 to 10 centimeters. 4 is your daytime high for tomorrow. We're expecting that light snow early in the morning. We could see it wet snow as well, as temperatures are quite warm tomorrow. -13 is the overnight low, so then it's going to get quite cold. Stay cold Thursday and through the weekend forecast. -14 for Thursday, -8 on Friday. So these temperatures a little bit below norm. Not so bad for Saturday with a high of -5, but it will stay cold as we head into next week. On your drive-in, Baseline eastbound is closed between Fisher and Lexington due to a broken water main. Police are on scene directing traffic, but you can expect significant delays in that area. Now let's check out your TSN must-see moment.
Hey there, Matt Scooby inside the SportsCenter newsroom with your must-see moment from Monday. And for it, we've actually got 2 moments from Liverpool's FA Cup match. Taking on third-tier Barnsley, 9 minutes in, midfielder Dominic Szoboszlai unleashes a screamer from distance. Check out the non-reaction. Not been there, done that vibes. His 6th goal across all competitions this season is a beauty. That was the good. Here is the really bad. Still in the first half, Szoboszlai being chased back, flubs the back heel right in front of his keeper, gifting a goal to Barnsley. A shocking blunder by the Hungarian international. Liverpool did go on to win it 4-1, but Szoboszlai's highs and lows is your must-see moment. Well, today on TSN, Canada takes on Sweden to wrap up the group stage at the Women's Under-18 Worlds. The winner will clinch first place in Group A. Coverage begins 4 p.m. Eastern on TSN1. That's all from the SportsCenter newsroom. Have a great day.
Great to see Scooby first thing in the morning. Well, coming up next on Your Morning Ottawa, someone in Prescott Russell is $55 million richer. And hopefully we find them, because I have a great investment opportunity I want to talk about. And we'll tell you more about how the community is reacting to that big news coming up just after the break. Taking a peek through our Centennial Glass sky cam, temperatures still on the mild side, but could be a messy day ahead. Stay with us, everyone, and happy Tuesday.
Welcome back. Now we're taking a look at today's top stories. Hospitals in our region are under pressure as some, such as the Queensway Carleton Hospital, are forced to open up more unconventional spaces to treat patients. Plans for Canada's first high-speed rail network is taking another step forward, with new public engagement now underway in the capital. And the Sens signed James Reimer to a 1-year contract, hoping to the move will help solidify their goaltending as they try to break free from a 4-game losing streak. Now let's take a look at the forecast.
Oh, temperature still not too cool through the day today. Lots of clouds covering the skies. Maybe a little bit of mixed precipitation this morning. Then we have a chance for some flurries, and then once again, some messy conditions into the evening hours. So your commute to work, a little messy. Your commute home, definitely potentially seeing some slippery conditions. So make sure you got plenty of fluid in the vehicles before you head out today. Taking a look at the roads at this hour, nothing major to report at this time. Roads are looking pretty good, nice and clear with the warm temperatures that we've seen. Again, but that could change throughout the day. We'll be sure to let you know of any detours throughout the morning.
Eastern Ontario is buzzing with the news that someone in the community is $55 million richer. A winning ticket in Friday's Lotto Max draw was sold in Prescott Russell. CTV's Dylan Dyson has more on the talk of the 8 towns that make up the United Counties.
At Rockland Marine and Equipment, owner Mario Meloche didn't win the $55 million jackpot, but he knows what he would buy if he did.
A nice motorhome. A big motorhome so I could travel farther and more luxury. With 50 millions, I think I would travel a lot.
OLG says the winning ticket in Friday's $55 million Lotto Max jackpot was purchased somewhere in Prescott Russell, the second largest lottery win in the community's history.
The one piece of information that we don't have is who actually bought that ticket.
I wish it was me.
If I won, I don't want anybody to know.
Regardless of who won, many in the community are happy it happened to someone here.
That's a good thing because usually and hopefully that they have a family. So they'll start spreading their millions of dollars through the family, and then there's more than one millionaire, so they can spend in our area in Prescott Russell.
That's something positive for the community. They say, oh, okay, it's from here, then we'll try more.
At a nearby gas station in Rockland, manager Jay Shami hopes it was a ticket bought at his store.
The franchisee gets some, I don't know exactly how much, but they give them a lump sum.
OLG says it knows exactly where the ticket was purchased, but won't yet say.
So that's why we have to ask the people coming forward a series of questions. Again, where did you buy the ticket? When did you buy the ticket? And a number of other questions that we use in the prize claim process to ensure that we are paying the rightful ticket owner that $55 million prize.
The win follows a 2022 Lotto Max win by a grandmother in Van Cleek Hill who won $60 million. But for whoever did win, Meloche has more than a few toys the winner can splurge on.
You can get what we call a General. A General is 1,000 cc, good machine.
Dylan Dyson, CTV News, Prescott Russell.
You know, they make a good point in there, too, about they want to make sure that the money goes to the right winner. And how many times, Rosie, have me and you discussed about fake people and scams and all these things? I bet you people are definitely trying to at this time. Oh, it was me. Like, here's the proof. I've got the numbers and all this. It's a whole nother side of the story.
I know. And I really think that the winner, I feel like the winner knows, has the ticket, and is just getting their ducks in a row right now before they make themselves known to the world that they're $55 million richer.
Yeah, because you know that person's friends are going to be knocking on the door. Oh, hey, yeah, I've got some stuff for you to think about. Hopefully we get some more details soon. Well, it's time to check in with Bill Carroll from the Morning Rush on News Talk 580 CFRA to see what's going on this Tuesday. Good morning, Bill. What's on the mind today?
Well, I want to talk about this new report that shows we are North America's most livable city. I'm excited about that.
Oh, hey, I like that. A nice positive note for our Tuesday.
Exactly. And I'm coming up on my 10th anniversary of my arrival after one of the worst storms of the century in Ottawa. 10 years I've been here. And can I tell you something? I hated it. The whole idea, seriously. I'd come to Ottawa a few times on business, usually to cover something on Parliament, you know, a government falling or an important budget or something. And I thought it was the most boring place. This really small town trying to pass itself off as a city. The idea of coming to live here was my wife wanted to leave Los Angeles, and we chose Ottawa as kind of a compromise between her family in Quebec and mine in Toronto. And anyway, here we were. 10 years later, how dumb was I? This is an amazing city. I don't want any of us to take it for granted. You know, it reminds me of Toronto in the 80s when I was young and the city was not overwhelmed yet and not all bogged down with traffic and overbuilt. And, you know, you have everything you need in a big city. We have great museums. We have a professional hockey team, although this season they're starting to not look very professional. But we have everything you need. But it's not too big yet. Yes, we have traffic, but it's not end of the world traffic. You know, it's just the only thing about it is the weather, and even that I'm becoming used to. You know, as I was driving along the canal last week when the canal was open for skating and people were outside and laughing and having fun, there's just something beautiful about being driving along Colonel By and seeing the Rideau Skateway open and people outside having fun with their skates on, getting around. So, you know, I just think we need to take a moment to look at it. It is a very livable city and a great place to raise a family. I'm happy my kids grew up here.
Well, as a hometown kid from when I was born, Bill, we're so happy that you joined us, and congratulations on 10 years here in the nation's capital, because it is the most wonderful place. And you know what? Cheers to 10 more.
Yeah, and it's not quite 10 years yet. It's coming up shortly, so you still have time to buy me a gift.
Who says I don't already have you one? You don't know.
Oh, I'm sure you do.
Sneaky for you.
Yeah, I'm fairly sure you didn't, because you didn't realize it was 10 years until I just told you. So get shopping, okay?
I'm just saying my 10 years was last week, so we're just coming up at the same time. I already knew that.
10 years? You left for a while. It doesn't count.
No, come on. It still counts. All right, Bill. We'll chat with you a little bit later on. Have a good day, my friend.
Bye-bye.
You can listen to the Morning Rush with Bill Carroll on News Talk 580 CFRA weekdays from 6 until 10 a.m. Taking a peek through our Skycam on George Street. Snow to fall, maybe a little mixed precipitation. Full details coming up from Melissa. We'll be right back.
Today on Your Morning Ottawa, a local travel agent is sharing some extraordinary escapes close to home. So we are asking for your comments on what's the best hidden gem travel destination right here in Canada. Let us know your thoughts. Email us at yourmorningottawa@ctv.ca. The gems, right?
I have a good one that I went for my cousin's wedding. So she got married in Radium, and so we went to Radium Hot Springs. It's basically, she lives in Calgary, and it's just on the Calgary, BC border, Alberta, BC border.
Okay.
It's just kind of south and a little bit to the west of Calgary, and beautiful spot. They have those natural hot springs, a quaint little town. You're nestled in the mountains. It was just absolutely breathtaking. She got married on like this mountaintop. It was a stunning place. I didn't get to do too much travel because I was only there for a few days, but what I saw of it, I was just like blown away. And especially the drive from Calgary to Radium, it was like, the mountains are just, I just can't even describe the mountains. They're so large and so beautiful, and it's just incredible to know that we live in this gorgeous country.
And if you haven't been out that way, that's the first thing that you do. Like when you drive through, you're like, there's no way that this is actually right here in Canada as you're driving through, because we don't have those type of mountains here. So out west is so beautiful, right?
And it was almost, I was almost a little frightened because they were so large. I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm almost a little scared driving through these mountains. Like, it was intense, but it's so much fun.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And for a wedding too.
Yeah,
Great that they found that place.
Yeah. Well, it's not too far from Calgary. I believe it was like a 2-hour drive from Calgary, so it was fairly close. But such a beautiful little hidden gem, and I had never heard of it until then. So thought I would share in case anybody else is looking for an adventure.
We got one.
Thank you for sharing. Okay, we're going to be hearing from you later in the show. We are asking, what is the best hidden gem travel destination right here in Canada? Send us your comments at yourmorningottawa@ctv.ca.
And coming up on Your Morning Ottawa, we learn more about what the data tells us about unruly passengers on airplanes in Canada. CTV's Scott Hurst will join us coming up. We'll be right back.
Welcome. I'm Rosie Edda.
I'm Will Aiello.
And I'm Melissa Lamb.
I'm excited for a conversation coming up, Melissa. You're going to be talking with someone about basically what you eat determines how you feel.
Yes.
And I feel like the three of us we're very, powerful about that kind of message. But we'll actually hear from a nutritionist about those details.
I love that. I can't wait for that, especially for many people who have the resolutions with maybe wellness and eating well and feeling better. It would be some great information.
Yeah, so that's coming up at the 7 o'clock hour. For now, our news headlines. And things are about to get very real in the nation's capital when it comes to job losses for the federal public servants. CTV has learned that layoffs are underway at Statistics Canada. So according to a memo obtained by CTV, 100 positions are immediately affected, and those employees will be notified this week. The plan is to cut another 750 jobs over the next 2 years and to reduce the number of executive positions by 12%. According to the memo, employees are impacted are going to be told by their managers. And the size of the department has grown in recent years. In 2019, there were 5,400 employees, and by 2025, there are now more than 7,200. This is just one of several departments notifying employees of upcoming layoffs. Last summer, nearly all departments were asked to find 15% in savings in the coming years.
Turning now to the ongoing pressure being felt at Ottawa hospitals as flu season rages on. Last week, we told you about the general campus having to use an ambulance bay to hold patients. Now, we are learning about the Queensway Carleton Hospital's use of unconventional spaces. A hospital spokesperson confirms that patients are receiving care in hallways and dining areas that have been repurposed into patient spaces. It comes as wait times have ballooned to an average of 13 hours, which is something that Ken Sanderson knows all too well after he and his wife spent nearly 15 hours waiting at the hospital for his wife to receive care for a skin infection.
Completely frustrating, aggravating, extremely tiring. Once you get into the system, the people are fantastic. The doctors are fantastic. The nurses that are providing all the service on the floor, they're fantastic too. Super nice, super caring. It's just to try and get in there that seems to be the big problem.
A hospital spokesperson says occupancy is at 114%, with medicine units at 133%.
Prime Minister Mark Carney will be in Prince Rupert, BC today before heading to China. While in BC, the Prime Minister will meet with coastal First Nations to talk about major projects. Coastal First Nation leaders are opposed to proposed pipeline projects, saying that they were not properly consulted before Ottawa signed its deal with Alberta. As for the visit to China, the federal government is expecting progress, but not necessarily a breakthrough on tariffs.
This has been a building block process. I'm confident there will be outcomes and deliverables.
China hit Canada with tariffs on canola, pork, and seafood after Canada put a 100% tariff on Chinese-made EVs. However, the two countries may be more open to cutting a deal as they look to diversify trade. From the U.S. Prime Minister Carney is expected to meet Chinese President Xi Jinping on Friday.
The city will be building a new standalone public washroom. It is something advocates have been pushing for years, but instead of self-cleaning, it will be up to the city staff or community groups to maintain them. The city will be building a standalone public washroom on the corner of Somerset and Bank Street, hoping to break ground by the fall. They were supposed to be self-cleaning, but not anymore. Maintenance will be up to city staff or community partners.
Many other cities do it, and Ottawa's quite behind, but I'm excited that this will allow us to start to catch up. We're working on a robust plan. Either way, it's very clear that we need these facilities, and they need to go into the part of the city where we're seeing the most demand.
As for what it will look like, there will be a public consultation phase.
An office building in the city's West End is set to be converted into housing. The 7-story building at 495 Richmond Road in Westboro was the former office for the Canadian Institute for Health Information. A real estate firm has submitted an application to turn the space into 143 residential units, which would be a mix of studio, 1-bedroom, and 2-bedroom apartments. This is just one of several plans to turn office buildings into homes.
The Trump administration is reportedly ordering 1,000 additional ICE officers to Minnesota to join the 2,000 already deployed. This comes as the state, along with the cities of Minneapolis and St. Paul, launched a lawsuit against the U.S. federal government to stop the surge.
We don't back down in Minnesota. We stand up against bullies, and right now, what we are asking for is an intervention from the court to push back on this unconstitutional conduct.
Immigration officers fired pepper balls at protesters outside a federal building in Minneapolis in another day of demonstrations against the immigration crackdown. Tensions erupted last week when an agent shot and killed a 37-year-old mother of 3.
Thanks to the quick actions of paramedics, an Ottawa mother successfully delivered a healthy baby boy in a West End home over the weekend.
An awesome experience. You get into this profession to help people, and what better way to help people than, to help bring another life into this world.
Love that. Paramedics got a call Saturday morning saying a woman was in labor, and when they got to the home, they realized she wouldn't be able to make it to the hospital.
They helped her deliver the baby on the floor of the home. Mom and baby were sent off to the hospital. Both are healthy.
Oh, incredible.
And you have that special connection now with that family too. Like, this isn't the first time I've seen a situation where the paramedics are the ones that deliver the baby just because of the timing. And it's so wonderful that they're trained for that situation. And you could tell in his interview, he was like, we're very proud, but probably special to be a part of that moment.
No doubt about that. And that baby just couldn't wait.
Yes.
The baby was like, nope, gotta come now.
Yeah. I want to come to live into Ottawa, join us with Bill Carroll in his 10 years loving the city.
So good.
And it's usually not that way. It's usually not what you think, what you see in the movies where water breaks and you're in deliver. Like, you could be in labor for hours, days. So
true.
That baby was just like, nope, today's the day. It's right now.
Time to arrive.
Yes. It's a bit of a messy day for us. We could see some flurries or drizzle early this morning, then periods of snow into the afternoon. The colder temperatures will return starting Thursday, so we're in for some very cold conditions towards the end of the work week. If you like the milder conditions, enjoy the next few days because it is going to change. We're still sitting at -1 here this hour. It does feel closer to -4 with that wind chill. 0 in Pembroke, 2 currently in Trenton, 0 as well over in Brockville. Right now we're dealing with cloudy conditions, but there is a chance that some areas could see some light drizzle this morning or some light flurries as as well. So just keep that in mind before heading out anywhere. We could see a little bit of messy weather early this morning. Cloudy skies throughout most of the morning into your early afternoon, and then later on this afternoon around 3 p.m., that's when we're expecting snow. So starting off as periods of light snow, we're expecting 5 up to 10 centimeters of snow. Now you can see this system is kind of a mixture, and that's because temperatures will be hovering around 2 degrees. We will warm up overnight tonight, so that's because of that we could see some rain mixed in with some system, some freezing rain. So the pink band is some freezing rain, the green is rain, so we could see some wet snow mixing with some rain, freezing rain, a mixture of all the things into the overnight tonight. But we could still see 5 to 10 centimeters of snow changing to rain overnight, and then again tomorrow morning going back to snow. So temperatures kind of all over the map. Same with what we're expecting from our skies, but it will be messy overnight tonight, and into your day tomorrow will remain messy into the afternoon, as we are expecting still some scattered flurries in through the day on Wednesday. And because temperatures so warm, again, we could really see wet snow mixed in with rain and freezing rain. So a mixture of everything later on tonight, into your overnight and into your early morning hours tomorrow as well. Temperatures today reaching a high of 2 degrees. Now we will reach that late in the afternoon, and that's where we'll even hover into the overnight tonight. 1 in Bancroft, 2 in Trenton, Kingston area, 1 out in the valley for your high today. Same with over in Mont-Tremblant. So in the 7-day forecast, that's when we're going to see the shift in terms of temperatures going from mild to cold. 2 for today. That's our daytime high. That will also be our overnight low. So temperatures really hovering in there throughout most of the day. 5 to 10 centimeters of snow. But remember, we could see it mixing with some rain and freezing rain. Into your day tomorrow, more periods of light snow in the forecast for us. 4 is the daytime high for tomorrow. Then temperatures overnight Wednesday dropping all the way to -13. And it will be cold into Thursday. Your daytime high will be -14. Overnight dropping to -17. So bitter cold conditions are back for Thursday. Good news for the Rideau Canal Skateway, -8 for Friday. It will stay quite cold into through the weekend and next week.
Weather brought to you by Manotick Place Retirement Community, a community you can call home.
Just a reminder, Baseline eastbound is closed at Fisher due to a broken water main. Police are on scene directing traffic, but you can expect significant delays in that area this morning. Eagleson Road is closed in both directions between Fallowfield and Faulkner Trail due to a down pole. The road is expected to be closed until late morning. And we also have volume eastbound on the 417 starting at the 416 split in through Woodruff.
Traffic brought to you by Presler Injury Lawyers, 1-800-JUSTICE.
Coming up next on Your Morning Ottawa, new data has been released about unruly and disruptive airline passengers in Canada in 2025. We'll tell you more just ahead. Here's a look through our sky cam. It is Tuesday, 6:40. We'll be right back.
Welcome back, everybody. Here are the big stories that we're following today on Your Morning Ottawa. Statistics Canada confirms 100 employees will be laid off this week as the effort to shrink the size of the government continues. Hospitals in our region are under pressure as some, such as the Queensway Carleton Hospital, are forced to open up more unconventional spaces to treat patients. And plans for Canada's first high-speed rail network is taking another step forward with new public engagement officially underway in the capital. But for now, we'll take a look at the next couple of days. Melissa, what do we got?
Some messy weather on the way, pardon me, for today. We're expecting some snow mixed in with some rain. We could even see some freezing drizzle. This morning, we could see some freezing drizzle with some light flurries. The snow starting around 3 p.m., periods of light snow in through the evening, and then overnight, that's when we could see wet snow mixed in with some rain and some freezing rain, 5 to 10 centimeters in total. Mild conditions for today. 2 is the daytime high, a little bit warmer as we headed tomorrow. Still seeing some light snow. 4 degrees is the high, and then the cold snap moves through. We will reach a daytime high of only -14 as we head into Thursday. On your drive-in this morning, traffic is still looking heavy. We have volume if you're heading eastbound on the 417 from the 416 split in through Woodruff this hour. The westbound lanes are still moving well at the split in through downtown.
Canadian transportation authorities logged a large number of reports citing disruptive air passengers in 2025. CTV News correspondent Scott Hurst has more on that for us this morning. Good morning to you, Scott. Now, Transport Canada logged over 100 reports of disruptive air passengers in 2025 with a wide range of alleged bad behavior. What can you tell us?
Good morning, Rosie. Flying can be stressful. We all know that. We've all probably felt our blood boil at least once or twice. Trying to get through airports, trying to get to where we need to go. Delays, of course, can be disruptive, and they can also be costly for us if we miss a connection or don't get to where we need to go, potentially a business meeting. But disruptive passengers are unfortunately an all too common occurrence, particularly for the flight attendants, who are often the first point of contact. And some of the bad behavior that we're talking about is on this list here that you see on your screen, including refusing orders such as sitting during landing, uttering threats, instigating fights, vaping, even indecent exposure, just to name a few. Now, these incidents last year ultimately caused a number of delays, forced flights to either be diverted or turned back to the gate, and in many cases, the offending passengers here were arrested or escorted off the plane by police. Some, according to the data, even added to the no-fly list. Now, airlines have a zero tolerance for any form of abuse directed at employees or other passengers, and cabin crew go through extensive training when it comes to de-escalating situations and dealing with potentially unruly passengers. Now, we should point out the number of disruptive incidents, the number that sits that we have right there, just over 100, is really minuscule compared to, of course, the millions of customers that are flown every year. But also, union reps for flight attendants tell CTV News, Rosie, that disruptive incidents often go unreported, depending on the severity of the incident.
Okay, so the reports were filed from areas across Canada. What cities had the most reported incidents?
Well, Rosie, first and foremost, for the viewers there in Ottawa, fortunately, that airport did not make this top 5 list, which is likely a very good thing, with Calgary leading the way with the most incidents reported, followed by Toronto, Vancouver, Montreal, and rounding out the top 5 is Edmonton. Of the 114 passenger reports in 2025 of disruptive or unruly passengers, that number is down from 176 in 2024, 197 in 2023, and actually more than 232 in 2022. And Transport Canada, does point out that in 2022 there were still well over 1,000 incidents of passengers not complying with COVID-19 mask mandates, which were in place through much of that year. So it appears, at least according to these numbers, that we are getting potentially better on flights, as there were fewer reports of unruly passengers last year compared to some previous years before that, Rosie.
Well, Scott, I have to tell you, I'm very glad that Ottawa did not make that top 5 list of most unruly air passengers. Thank you so much, Scott.
Keep up the good behavior there in Ottawa, then.
CTV Scott Hurst.
Morning Ottawa, we asked for some hidden gem spots right here in our country. Doesn't matter where they are, what they are. So we asked for your comments on, do you have any you can share with us? And here's what you had to say.
Richard says Lake Louise, Banff, Alberta, New Brunswick, and Prince Edward Island.
Beautiful spots. Our country is so beautiful. We have so many great places. Brandy says, I like it out east. PEI is the best ever. The beautiful red sand. I mean, it is picturesque. There's nothing like it, right? Like, I don't know any other spot where they have that gorgeous red, like terracotta sand.
Yeah, it's so unique. And what's great is you go out east and you have that. You go west, you have the mountains. So there's so much diverse geographical locations and what you expect in each spot. I mean, it's so wonderful. Again, when you go out west, it's hard to believe. You know, you go to Tremblant, Quebec, and you see the mountains. If it's the first time, you're like, oh, that's nice. And you go west, you're like, whoa, look at those things. It's magical.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And definitely if you go snowboarding down there or skiing, your legs feel it as well. I remember the first time I went skiing out in Banff, and I just couldn't get over how much longer the mountain was. And my legs, by halfway through, I'm like, I need to sit and take a break. Like, I can't do this. This is a long hill.
Yeah, it takes you, like, sometimes, like, even at the top of Whistler, you could take 35 minutes just to go down the hill, if not longer than that.
It is beautiful. There's no doubt about that. Don't know much about skiing that far down the hill. I just skied down a Baby Hill in Toronto, and I was like, whoa! Took me all of 10 seconds to get down the hill, but it was fun. So I can only imagine if you're really good at skiing, that massive mountain just must be like, ooh, let me eat this up.
Powder out there as well. Like, their snow is just so different than ours. It's a bit more icier here, I'd say, than over there. Like, more fresh powder.
Yeah, especially on those fresh powder days out on the mountain out west. It's there's nothing quite like it.
But your legs are burning.
Okay, do we have time? I just want to say my spot, like hidden gem, if you can make it out there, because it takes a bit to get there. there, right? You need a commercial plane, then you need like just a twin engine private, a little plane to get there. Tofino, BC. You're like, what's happening here? You can surf. I mean, you have to wear the wetsuit because the water's going to be pretty cold right now, but it's absolutely glorious. It's like you're in another world.
Wow.
You've got the ocean right there coming at you. The beach is beautiful. And you can actually surf, and it's beautiful. I think Sarah McLaughlin lived like right around the corner where I was staying, and I just thought, well, there you go. You don't even have to go down south. You can just go right over to Tofino, BC. Simply gorgeous, especially if you like the water and you like, what is it, surfing?
California.
There you
vibe.
go. There you
got
go.
me already. So that is the question today. What's the best hidden gem travel destination in Canada? Let us know your thoughts. Your Morning Ottawa at CTV.ca.
And coming up on Your Morning Ottawa, one of this country's greatest tennis players is calling it a career. We'll tell you more about Milos Raonic's announcement coming up just ahead. Here's a live look at our sky cam on George Street this morning. It's pretty mild out there, -1, feels closer to -4. It is time now for your morning fix, and if you can't get enough of the show Heated Rivalry, well, fans will have a new way to indulge their passions later on this year. A book will be published in September, focusing on the love story between the two main characters of the TV show. Unrivaled will be the 7th installment in author Rachel Reed's Game Changer series. It picks up where the long game left off. The popularity of the show has propelled some of her earlier books to the bestsellers list. There will also be season 2 of Heated Rivalry, but no word yet on when.
I know what to get you for your birthday.
Yes, I'm very excited about this. I just want this to continue forever. It's such a great series. We saw them at the Golden Globes.
They were so fun.
Oh, they were so great. So they've just really catapulted to stardom, and it's all because of this series. And I heard as well, because it was on a shoestring budget that they produced this, I heard that they're going to continue at that. They're going to kind of keep it more of a low budget series. So I'm sure the actors will get a hefty raise.
A little bit of a raise, a little bit of a bump,
production
right?
will stay, so we'll have the same kind of feel and quality moving into the seasons, which is nice.
But you don't want to change it too much if it's had so much success, right?
Exactly. Well, one of this country's greatest tennis players ever is calling it a career. Milos Raonic has said the time has come. The big server from Richmond Hill was the first Canadian man to reach a Grand Slam final in 2016 at Wimbledon. He also reached the Australian Open semifinals and ended the year on a career-high #3 ranking. Raonic won 8 ATP single titles after turning professional in 2011. The 35-year-old announced he is retiring on a post on X. And it reads in part, "This is a moment you know will come one day, but somehow you never feel ready for it. This is as ready as I ever will be. Tennis has been my love, my obsession for most of my life. I have been the luckiest person to get to live out and fulfill my dreams." Raonic didn't say what's next for him, but insisted he won't be slowing down.
Such an amazing career, and we were talking about it just in the commercial break. It's so tough because with the injuries, he still probably had so much left in him, but it was so amazing to watch him go.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I remember when he just burst onto the scene.
Mhm.
It was like, whoa, look at that serve. And then he was just kind of quiet and humble and just played at the game and probably loved every minute of it.
Yeah, we're going to miss him for sure.
Absolutely. Well, Netflix is sharing Future with interactive experiences at New York's Grand Central Terminal.
Cards are ready to reveal what you're looking for. Just answer my questions honestly.
An animatronic version of Tiana Taylor, who won a Golden Globe Award Sunday night, offers personalized readings to fans curious about their future, as well as new shows and movies coming to Netflix in 2026. The campaign highlights stars such as Cillian Murphy, Millie Bobby Brown, Lily Collins, and Elmo, just to name a few.
Someone for everyone.
Right?
You gotta toss Elmo in there right at the end.
Yeah. What a way, I tell you, what a way there to promote Netflix and shows coming up.
You put this really cool installation there and have people talk to it. All right. We have got so much more to go on the show. We'll be back right after this short break. There's a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. You're watching Your Morning Ottawa. It's Tuesday, January 13th. Statistics Canada says it will let go of 100 employees this week as the belt tightening in the federal government continues.
Some tenants say that they are confused over whether their rental payments are going down after the city lowered property taxes on some older buildings in Ottawa.
Back center to the hard shot. And a good stop made there by Reimer.
And a new signee between the pipes. The Ottawa Senators hope to turn their season around with the help of a new goalie. Your Morning Ottawa continues right now.
Just after 7 o'clock on your Tuesday, come on in. I'm Rosie Edden.
I'm Will Aiello.
And I'm Melissa Lamb.
And we'll get right into our news headlines this morning. Things are about to get very real in the nation's capital when it comes to job losses for federal public servants. CTV has learned that layoffs are underway at Statistics Canada. According to a memo obtained by CTV, 100 positions are immediately affected, and those employees will be notified this week. The plan is to cut another 750 jobs over the next 2 years and to reduce the number of executive positions by 12%. According to the memo, employees who are impacted will be told by their managers. And the size of the department has grown in recent years. So back in 2019, there were 5,400 employees. Since then, in 2025, there are more than 7,200. And this is just one of several departments notifying employees of upcoming layoffs. Last summer, nearly all departments were asked to find 15% in savings in the coming years.
Hospitals in our region are under pressure as some, such as the Queensway Carleton Hospital, are forced to open up more unconventional spaces to treat patients.
Hallways do become a patient care environment, and we've had to even go into public settings within a patient care unit. So we have like common dining room areas, which we've had to remove a significant amount of the tables and furniture within the space and then convert that into unconventional patient care spaces.
Much of the increased pressure is due to high numbers of influenza cases, particularly impacting people with pre-existing conditions. In a statement to CTV News, a spokesperson for the hospital says occupancy is at 114%, with medicine units at 133% and 27 patients in the emergency department currently waiting for an inpatient bed. The hospital spokesperson adds, in the last week, non-admitted patients have been forced to wait an average of 13 hours.
Ontario Provincial Police are reminding people to stay off the water after a snowmobiler went through the ice in North Grenville. Police say this happened in the Rideau River near the Birds Rapids. They say the operator was wearing a floating suit and a traveling companion was able to call 911. OPP say that it's a reminder that traveling on the ice is risky and changing winter weather can cause unpredictable conditions.
Nurses and personal support workers are protesting planned job cuts at the Royal Ottawa's long-term care facility.
Ho, ho! Healthcare cuts got to go!
Members of CUPE say planned cuts will affect both patients and staff and that 15 positions will be eliminated. The Royal did not confirm that, but says the staffing changes are part of routine workforce planning and that patient safety is its top priority.
Well, James Reimer will now be stopping the pucks for the Ottawa Senators.
Back center to the hard shot. And a good stop made there by Reimer. That's a great play by Ridley Gray.
So the team has signed him to a one-year contract with a salary of $850,000. This comes amid Ullmark's leave of absence. The 37-year-old has played 525 regular season games in the NHL, last played for the Buffalo Sabres.
Looks, passes, Verhaeghe, Rishot scores!
And the hope is that adding this player will help solidify their goaltending as they try to break that 4-game losing streak. Sens back on home ice tonight. They host the Vancouver Canucks at 7 p.m.
A Canadian astronaut now has a better idea of when he might be going on a journey of a lifetime.
Yeah, Jeremy Henson, originally from London, Ontario, is one of 4 astronauts who will make the first crewed mission of the Artemis program. And this is the first journey to the moon by astronauts since 1972. Henson and his colleagues will travel around the moon before returning to Earth over a 10-day stretch.
NASA has released possible liftoff dates for the Artemis 2 mission. Several launch windows, about 2 hours in length, have been identified, beginning February 6th until the end of April.
Cool.
Since 1972, it's so wild to think about with all that we have. That we haven't done something like this since then.
Right.
And I think a lot of people out there will be very excited to follow along with this journey and see what we can obtain.
And that's the nice thing. I mean, times have changed since 1972 with social media, so now we can kind of get this like up-depth look at what they actually go through in space. So it's fantastic.
Yeah, you might get like a live camera feed inside
right?
the space shuttle and be like, this is what they're up to today, as opposed to before where it's like you maybe only get some chopped audio or something.
Exactly. And it's really exciting because he was here on the show.
He was,
And that was what, last year, early last year, talking about, or maybe the year before.
Yeah.
Talking about, when are you going? Well, we'll have to wait and see. Now it looks like it's weeks away.
So exciting.
Good for him.
We also have your weather picture of the day today. Tracy sent this in to us. Look at this beautiful picture. A nice walk in the Grove in Arnprior after a snowy day.
Weather picture brought to you by Box Me Up. Moving, staging, renovating, just box me up.
And of course, send us your weather shots, and you can see it right here on the show. All you have to do is send us an email, weathershots@ctv.ca. Again, that email address is weathershots@ctv.ca. The sun should be up in about half an hour's time, around 7:39 a.m. this morning. It will set at 4:43 p.m., so a nice long day in the forecast for us. Temps today still above seasonal, not quite record-breaking, but it will be nice and mild into the afternoon. Currently, we are sitting at -1, so even fairly mild out there this morning. Does feel closer to -4. 0 in Pembroke, 2 in Trenton, 1 in Brockville, 0 along Montreal as well. Still dealing with cloudy conditions. However, there's still a chance that we could see some scattered flurries this morning or even a little bit of drizzle, especially on your drive-in this morning, so just keep that in mind. Later on today, starting around 3 o'clock, that's when we're expecting snow in the forecast for us. So periods of snow starting around 3 p.m. this afternoon, and we could see it mixed in with some freezing rain and some rain, especially overnight, as temperatures will actually warm up. So later on overnight, temperatures will be hovering around 2 degrees. We will see wet snow in the forecast overnight tonight, mixed in with some freezing rain. That's the pink band and green. So we're kind of right in the middle in terms of what we will see into your overnight, but we are expecting 5 upwards of 10 centimeters of snow, so quite a significant amount of snow in the forecast for us. As we head into tomorrow morning, flipping back to snow, we could still see some freezing rain or freezing drizzle tomorrow morning, and then it will change to snow overnight Wednesday and through your morning hours on Thursday, and that's because temperatures cold tomorrow night, so that's when the cold snap will move through. 2 degrees is our high for today for kids heading out to school, so a nice warm day out at school recess today. 2 is the overnight low as well, so temperatures just really hovering in there late in afternoon into your overnight. 5 to 10 centimeters of fresh snow in the forecast for us. 4 is the high for tomorrow, so again, we could see that freezing drizzle early in the morning, changing to snow at night, and that's because temperatures dropping all the way down to -13. -14 is your daytime high for Thursday, so cold conditions starting on Thursday, and it will stay cold Friday and through next week.
7-day weather forecast brought to you by Davidson Hearing Aid Centers, celebrating over 80 years in family business.
Eastbound on Baseline is closed from Fisher and Lexington due to a broken water main. Some congestion starting to build right now eastbound on the 417. It starts at the split in through Woodruff this morning, and heading west on the Queensway, we're also seeing some slowdowns between Saint Laurent and Nicholas this hour.
Well, some renters in Ottawa were supposed to see an automatic drop in their monthly payment as of January 1st, but there has been some confusion over whether tenants should actually pay their landlords less. One city councillor says that she has been inundated with correspondence from confused renters who live in apartment buildings built before 2001 due to a reduction in their landlord's property taxes. Let's bring in City Councillor Teresa Kavanagh with more on this today. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Will.
And it's so great to have you right away, because as of January 1st, there's definitely some confusion on the tenant side. What have you heard from tenants in your ward specifically?
Well, they all got letters from the city, and the city said that we're reducing your tax. This is something that we made a decision about last year. And so it was coming, and it was about fairness, because the older buildings were actually paying a higher tax ratio than buildings built after 2001 and homeowners. So the tax ratio was higher. That wasn't fair. And it tends to be people that live in these older buildings tend to be people that have been there for a long time. They're usually not paying as much rent because of the fact that they're older buildings. But they certainly could use a little break. And so they got a letter saying you can reduce your tax or your rent because of this tax break by 0.89%. Now, so if you're paying $2,000 in rent a month, that would be about $16. So that was very nice, except that they got a letter from their landlords, another letter saying, don't do it. Don't reduce your rent because we're going to the landlord-tenant board, and that's because the city has charged us more for garbage, for waste management. So we're taking it to the landlord-tenant board. So that caused confusion. So if the tenants follow through on the city, they may be, the landlords are saying that they're going to be challenged.
So what would your advice be to those renters right now, with all these details that you have? They want to pay the $16 less, let's say, if it's the $2,000 rent. Landlords say don't do that because of that. So what would your advice be to the renters as of this moment?
They can reduce their rent, and and if they want to challenge the landlord, they can go through the landlord-tenant board and challenge it with a T3 form. Here's the catch. The form, you have to pay $53. So that doesn't sound like it's very much of an incentive to challenge landlords. I mean, the landlords have known this for a long time, that this this tax reduction was coming. In fact, they're very much in favor of it. It was helpful for them. But they said, whoa, the city's charging us more for something else. Well, I see that as apples and oranges. You should give the tenants that break. You're going to work out the other increase because of the garbage pickup later. But right now, the tenants deserve this break, and this is coming in over 4 years. It'll take that long to bring in the full equity.
Okay, and you say that that the landlords have been aware that this has been coming down the line.
Oh, yeah.
If we play both sides of each story here, the landlords are saying that this is going to have an impact on their investment, on maintenance of the building. How do you find the balance between what you're doing with the renters as well as the landlords with the city? How do you find that equal balance?
Well, the tax is being reduced, so they're paying less tax on behalf of the renters. So, but it should be the whole point of it is to pass it on to the tenants. That is what the city was trying to do, trying to give a break to tenants. And as I said, it's going to take over 4 years to be fully in place. But the landlords saw this other increase in costs. We all saw increases in costs for garbage pickup and other things on our tax bill. But they're using this as a reason to take that money that $16 or whatever it is,
right,
and say, well, no, we need that to pay for this extra cost that's coming from the city.
Got it.
So I realize it's confusing, and it's taken out of our hands. Once we've done it, and it becomes a landlord-tenant board issue, it goes to the provincial level. And I know my counterparts at the provincial level, like Chandra Pasma, Catherine McKinney, have been working with tenants on this issue, because it's no longer something the city's fighting, but it's being taken to that board.
Right, okay, well, great advice, especially having you on just to give us a little guidance from the renters. Always appreciate your time, Teresa.
Thanks, Will.
Rosie, over to you.
Coming up next on Your Morning Ottawa, Ottawa is turning 200 this year. A historian dives into the history of the Bytown just ahead. Our guest is standing by in the Your Morning Ottawa Lazy Boy Lounge. Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Skycam. We'll be right back after this short break. Good morning, Ottawa. Welcome back. Ottawa is turning 200 this year, and the Historical Society of Ottawa is marking the city's birthday. Ben Weiss is here from the Society this morning to talk about the significance of the 200th birthday and what they have planned this year. Good morning to you, Ben.
Good morning.
Good morning to you. Okay, Ben, first off, can you tell me what happened 200 years ago in this area?
Well, the key event was the beginning of construction of the Rideau Canal. And, you know, what makes history fascinating is the fine line that separates history from current events.
Okay.
Because all of this started as a result of our concern, our fear that our friends south of the border were interested in making us the 19th state. And so the Rideau Canal was an opportunity for defense. Back then, transportation was by water. So between Lower Canada, which is today's Quebec, and Upper Canada, today's Ontario, the only transportation route was the St. Lawrence, which was vulnerable to American attack. So they said, how can we create a new waterway that will avoid that border? So up the Ottawa River, Rideau Canal, 200 kilometers between here and Kingston. It was considered an engineering marvel of the beginning of the 19th century. It was the largest capital works project ever undertaken in the British Empire. And today it is the oldest continuously running canal system in North America. So Colonel By, Lieutenant Colonel John By, was the chief engineer behind the project, and to get things started, he established a settlement, mainly military, at this end, and that was Bytown, of course.
There he is.
And the story of Bytown is just an unlikely fairy tale story of this backwoods lumber town that would somehow emerge as a nation's capital.
Yes.
Just a generation later. Just an extraordinary story.
So tell me how the HSO, Historical Society of Ottawa, is going to be celebrating this 200th anniversary, and tell me a little bit about the storytelling challenge as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So the Historical Society of Ottawa is actually historical itself. We were established in 1898. And through that century and a quarter, we've been sharing the stories of Ottawa's past. So for our bicentennial, that's what we are doing. We are sharing Ottawa stories. So we created the HSO 2026 Bytown 200 Bicentennial Storytelling Challenge, inviting folks to come to us with their stories, and we've created a great web page on our website with all sorts of fascinating stories. We had filmmaker Allison Margot Smith create a film on the Rideau Canal, especially for our challenge. It's in their collection. Kevin Ballantyne, who has a fantastic Forgotten Ottawa video series, created a short video on Bytown artists. We had the Ottawa Old Forge rug hooking group come towards us, say we'd like to hook rugs to celebrate and commemorate Ottawa's 200 years. And I said, well, you know, we're creating a website, don't you? But we're featuring their works on our website, and come February 17th, which is Heritage Day, their works will be on display at City Hall.
Fantastic. Okay, you brought something for us here. You want to show us?
Oh, can I just quickly mention our speaker series?
For sure.
We also have a speaker series. And again, our story collection is three-pronged. We want to tell stories about the Rideau Canal. We want to tell stories about Bytown, which existed from 1826 to 1855. But we also want to focus on the impact that the establishment of the Rideau Canal and Bytown had on the Indigenous people of the Ottawa Valley, the Algonquin Anishinaabe people. So again, our story collection and our speaker series will address those three. All the information on that is available on our website.
Okay, that's great. Will this be on display somewhere where we can see this? What is this here?
So here we are celebrating 200 years. How did we celebrate 100 years? Well, actually, this is a copy of the Ottawa Citizen from 1926 as we kicked off our 100th anniversary celebration, which included all sorts of pageants and that sort of thing, but also included a Ottawa Stampede, perhaps a copy of the Calgary Stampede. I don't know how appropriate that was, but that's how we celebrated back 100 years ago.
Ben Weiss from the Historical Society of Ottawa. We are celebrating 200 years this year. If folks want more information on the different events, where can they go?
Historical Society of Ottawa, just check out our website, all sorts of great information of what we have going on.
Ben, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Melissa.
The choices we make at mealtime have a profound and direct impact not only on our physical health, but also on our mental clarity, emotional balance, and energy levels. Joining us this morning, we have Alexandra Gamrat. She's a holistic nutritionist. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Okay, let's talk about the connection, first of all, in what we eat and how we feel.
It's very important. I always tell people to basically focus on 5 things when it comes down to their health.
Your 5 principles.
Yes, the 5 principles. And the first one is protein. It doesn't matter of what protein you take, either a plant-based or animal source, but protein usually will keep you full. And it will make you feel more aware. It's great for your hormones. It's great for your overall health. The next one would be fats. So a lot of people go for the bad fats, right? For the chips and things like that. But if you simply switch to your olive oil here, sesame oil, coconut oil, I personally love tallow.
Oh, yes.
Yes. And just switch that. It's the same thing. It gives you the energy, it gives you the boost, it keeps you full for a longer period of time. And it's great. You can eat coconut oil by the teaspoons. You can add it to your smoothies. It's very nice. The next one would be enzymes. And enzymes are basically anything that is whole foods. So greens, like papaya, pineapple, ginger, for example, it's excellent for the enzyme, and enzymes are very important for digestion as well as for detoxification.
And then 4th?
And the 4th one is phytonutrients.
Phytonutrients,
which is the rainbow.
The rainbow. So you want to get a different color rainbow into your diet. So from red to green to orange and yellow.
That's it.
Okay, wonderful.
And the last one would be chlorophyll. So chlorophyll is anything to do with greeny leaves. Right?
Interesting.
So kale, spinach, parsley, basil. It's the same thing. It's great for detoxification for your immune system. Absolutely great, and it's easy to add it to your soups, which we're going to make later on.
Wonderful.
Which is fantastic to add to your smoothies.
So easy to incorporate into your diet.
Incorporate.
Let's talk about a mood-boosting source for a soup today. That's what you're going to create us today. Something that will boost our energy and our mood.
Yes, very
so what's
easily.
The first step?
So the first step what we have is I basically already pre-cooked some
butternut squash.
Butternut squash. Thank you so much.
No worries.
So what we're going to do is we're going to put it in. You pre-cook it for about 20 minutes. You take your fork and you kind of tap it in just to make sure it's nice and soft.
So we're going to add it to a blender.
So we're going to add this here. It's very simple. Nothing major, but it's so good. Now, also what you can do, because this doesn't have any protein, you can add protein, either a plant-based. I usually would suggest to add like lentils and things like that.
I was going to say, could you add tofu?
Yes,
like
you
can.
can.
Like a soft tofu to it?
I sometimes will add chicken to blend it in. To make it a little bit more, not creamier, but just to add
that protein. Makes
so
sense.
we have a ginger,
Ooh.
which is excellent again for helping you digest. Garlic, and I already have here. I use basically oat milk, but you can use any kind of milk that you like. You can add water if you really like. So
that will make it nice and creamy.
That will make If we need more, I'll just add a little bit more. Himalayan salt. Just for taste. And then a little bit of pepper.
So then we would pulse this up together.
We'll pulse it up to make it smoother.
And now the beautiful thing, we don't have to pulse it too long because you have a finished product for us as well.
Yes, exactly.
All right. So we would just pulse it up.
I might add a little bit more milk.
That's okay. You know what? We got the idea. We're running out of time, so we do want to show you the finished product so you can see what it does create at home. The wonderful thing is you have made it for us, and look at how nice and creamy that is.
So what we can do is we can just decorate it just a little bit with enzymes.
You're adding some color.
Raw vegetables, and then what I like to those are red beets, and you just basically add a little bit of greens in there.
Oh, wow. Microgreens.
Yes.
And then you're getting your rainbow in one meal.
That's right.
Wonderful.
That's right.
So and how can people follow you for more tips and more information as well?
So people can follow me on Facebook under Alexandra Gamrat. And I have a lot of great tips in there.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for joining us today and helping us connect to our mind and our body with food. We truly appreciate it. Again, you can find her on IG as well. There's the information on your screen. Will.
Save me some, Melissa, please. That looks delicious for our Tuesday morning breakfast. Now, we're having some fun today. We're asking all of you, what are some hidden gems that you have right here, maybe in Ottawa, maybe beyond throughout Canada? Maybe it's the beautiful canal system. Maybe you're going to little towns like I love in Westport, just about an hour west of here. We get to support local. You get to find out a little bit of history going on right here in our community. So we're having some fun today. Let us know your morning Ottawa at ctv.ca, because we're actually going to be learning more about some of the best destinations within our country coming up a little bit later on that you might not be aware of. So some fun coming up later on in our program. Taking a peek outside through our sky camera on George Street on this beautiful city of Ottawa. Some snow to fall, maybe a little bit of rain as well, and a messy commute home. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Come on in. Hope your morning is going well. Thanks so much for starting your day with us. I'm Rosie Edden.
Yeah, halfway through 7:30. I'm Will Yellow.
And I'm Melissa Lamb.
And we got a lot more to go, but we're going to start with our news headlines because things are about to get very real in the nation's capital when it comes to job losses for federal public servants. CTV News has learned that layoffs are underway at Statistics Canada. According to a memo obtained by CTV, 100 positions are immediately affected, and those employees will be notified this week. The plan is to cut another 750 jobs over the next 2 years and to reduce the number of executive positions by 12%. According to the memo, employees who are impacted will be told by their managers. The size of the department has grown in recent years. In 2019, there were 5,400 employees, and in 2025, there were more than 7,200. This is just one of several departments notifying employees of upcoming layoffs. Last summer, nearly all departments were asked to find 15% in savings in the coming years.
Turning now to the ongoing pressure being felt at Ottawa hospitals as flu season rages on. Last week, we told you about the General Campus having to use an ambulance bay to hold patients. Now we are learning about the Queensway Carleton Hospital's use of unconventional spaces. A hospital spokesperson confirms that patients are receiving care in hallways and dining areas that have been repurposed into patient spaces. It comes as wait times have ballooned to an average of 13 hours, which is something that Ken Saunderson knows all too well after he and his wife spent nearly 15 hours waiting at the hospital for his wife to receive care for a skin infection.
Completely frustrating, aggravating, extremely tiring. Once you get into the system, the people are fantastic. The doctors are fantastic. The nurses that are providing all the service on the floor, they're fantastic too. Super nice, super caring. It's just to try and get in there that seems to be the big problem.
A hospital spokesperson says occupancy is at 114%, with medicine units at 133%.
Prime Minister Mark Carney will be in Prince Rupert, BC today before he heads to China. While in BC, the Prime Minister will meet with coastal First Nations to talk about major projects. Coastal First Nation leaders are opposed to proposed pipeline projects, saying that they were not properly consulted before Ottawa signed its deal with Alberta. As for the visit to China, the federal government is expecting progress, but not necessarily a breakthrough on tariffs.
This has been a building block process. I'm confident there will be outcomes and deliverables.
China hit Canada with tariffs on canola, pork, and seafood after Canada put a 100% tariff on Chinese-made EVs. However, the two countries may be more open to cutting a deal as they look to diversify trade from the U.S. Prime Minister Carney is expected to meet Chinese President Xi Jinping on Friday.
The city will be building a new standalone public washroom. It is something advocates have been pushing for years. But instead of self-cleaning, it will be up to city staff or community groups to maintain them. The city will be building a standalone public washroom on the corner of Somerset and Bank Street, hoping to break ground by the fall. They were supposed to be self-cleaning, but not anymore. Maintenance will be up to city staff or community partners.
Many other cities do it, and Ottawa is quite behind, but I'm excited that this will allow us to start to catch up. We're working on a robust plan. Either way, it's very clear that we need these facilities, and they need to go into the part of the city where we're seeing the most demand.
As for what it will look like, there will be a public consultation phase. The CFIA has issued a nationwide recall for no-name brand beef burgers because of a potential E. coli contamination. The recall affects 1.36 kilogram packs of no-name beef burgers with best before dates of May 5th, 2026. There haven't been any reported illnesses associated with this recall. The CFIA says if you have one of these products, either throw it out or return it. More details are available on ctvnews.ca.
Scientists have found the clearest evidence that horned dinosaurs lived in Europe during the Cretaceous period.
Here we go again. This is significant because scientists say this could help solve a long-standing puzzle about how these animals spread across the world. Horned dinosaurs, like Triceratops, are some of the most famous and were common in Asia and North America.
But until now, their presence in Europe wasn't so certain. The new study says the gap that existed wasn't because horned dinosaurs were absent from Europe, but because they were being misidentified. And now we know.
Once again, more dinosaur knowledge that is just amazing that we're still able to find more and more details about this as the years go on.
Yeah,
yes.
Absolutely. Our forecast today could be a little bit messy, but only a few warm days left before, yes, the cold weather moves through. So we have a cold snap on the way by the end of the week. Could still see some flurries and drizzle this morning and then periods of snow into the late afternoon for us for today. We just want to let you know right now as well, right now there is a collision on the 417 East ramp at Rochester this morning. There are lane closures in place, so expect delays in that area. This is coming in right now. Again, you can see it at Bayswater. Heading west on the Queensway, we're seeing some slowdowns well at Saint Laurent and Nicholas. Westbound of the 174, seeing congestion between 10th Line and Montreal Road. So we just wanted to let you know about that traffic incident before we get you up to date with your forecast. Temps right now sitting at -1, does feel closer to -4, so fairly mild to start off your morning. This is one of the last mild days today and tomorrow, and then we're in for some very cold conditions on the way, especially Thursday. It's looking bitter cold, but the bright news is it's looking good for the Rideau Canal Skateway. Still a little cloudy out there this morning. We could still see some flurries to start things off, a little bit of freezing drizzle this morning, and then periods of snow beginning around 3 p.m. this afternoon. You'll see it here on our radar screen. We are expecting snow. It will move forward in through the evening hours and right through into your overnight. Now, temperatures tonight warming up, so you'll kind of see this mixture of the purple, white, pink, and green. The purple and white is snow. We are expecting 5, upwards of 10 centimeters of snow, but we could still see it mixed with some freezing rain. That's the pink band, and then some rain, which is green, and that's because temperatures will hover around 2 degrees into the overnight. So it's mainly in the overnight that we could see this wintry mix in the forecast. Early tomorrow morning should change back to snow, and then periods of light snow tomorrow late in the afternoon, and that's because temperatures will be warmest in the morning, early afternoon, and then drop down into the evening, and it's going to be quite cold overnight Wednesday. So the warmer conditions coming to an end. As we head into Wednesday, Thursday, we're expecting more snow on the way. So a bit of a snowy week, mild for today into tomorrow. And then, yes, cold Thursday and through the weekend. Temperatures this morning hovering around 0 throughout your morning hours. Chance of those scattered flurries this morning. Then into the afternoon. Late in the day around 3 p.m. is when we're expecting snow. But temperatures hovering around 1 degree throughout most of the afternoon. And then kind of warming up into the overnight. Our daytime high for today, 2. We won't reach that until late this afternoon. So sometime around 5 p.m. is when temperatures will actually hit that 2 degrees. 1 over in Bancroft, Pembroke for today, 2 as well out in Cornwall, 1 in the Valley, as well as over in Mont-Tremblant. So very mild conditions this afternoon, but here's where you'll see the change in temps. 4 is the high for tomorrow, so staying really warm tomorrow, but it's mainly early in the morning, early afternoon. Temps falling to -13 overnight on Wednesday, and then cold for Thursday and through Friday and the weekend. Forecast temperatures below seasonal. On your roads, again, we just want to let you know about this collision. This is on the 417 East ramp at Rochester. That just happened this morning. There are lane closures in place because of this. So we do have some delays this morning on the 417. So we just wanted to keep you up to date with that traffic information.
Traffic brought to you by Presler Injury Lawyers. 1-800-JUSTICE.
Many Canadian travelers are steering clear of the United States and are instead choosing to travel close to home. Sheila Gallant-Halloran is the owner of Lush Life Travel and shares some Canadian travel experiences that you should be considering. Good morning to you, Sheila.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Loving the necklace.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Hello.
Canada, very elbows up, right?
Yeah. Talking about traveling within our country. And there are truly some hidden gems from coast to coast to coast.
There certainly are.
Yeah. Okay. So first off here, what are you hearing from Canadians about travel plans?
Well, I am a virtuoso cruise icon, so I'm a specialist in cruises. And in working with my clients, I really have clients that want to see Canada right now. So it's a great opportunity, you know, to explore this wonderful country of ours and explore locally, as well as, you know, perhaps doing a cruise that's going to take you through the Maritimes into Newfoundland and beyond.
Come on, and see some icebergs.
That's right.
That's what I would.
Yeah.
I would really like to see an iceberg, like a huge one. That's on my bucket list. Just kind of floating through the harbor in St. John's.
Well, you can certainly go to Antarctica and see them, but we have them here in Canada as well.
Okay, so let's talk about some cruise options.
Sure.
What do you have?
Well, again, going to that Canadian option, I have Ponant, Le Commandant Charcot. Ponant is a French company, and they sail a Canadian luxury iceberg. Look at that, Canadian expedition cruise. I did it last February in Canada. We sailed from Quebec City to St. Pierre and Miquelon. We went ice fishing. We did dog sledding. We did horseshoe, snowshoe walking.
Okay,
It's just an incredible way to see the Canadian boreal forest and explore Canada. It's just fantastic to have that luxury expedition close to home, and you can come back on board and have champagne and caviar.
Okay, that sounds amazing. How long are these trips? I guess they can be different lengths.
An expedition cruise tends to be longer. This particular one is 14 days. It's coming back in 2027.
Okay.
And I'm doing another one with Windstar in the fall, going from Montreal round trip, again doing that great St. Lawrence River and around Newfoundland and coming back. So
okay, you talk about exploring, you know, the great outdoors. What if you're you want to, but maybe your knee might hurt you halfway through? Do you have to go through all of the expeditions? Can you say, I'm going to take a?
You can pick and choose.
Sit out.
Yeah,
I
you
can
pick
sit
and choose,
this one
but
out.
if you're going ice fishing, you don't have to do that.
You can just sit and enjoy that.
You can sit on board and stay in the hot tub. You know?
So there's ice fishing, which is so cool.
It's
what
incredible.
About like a luxury hotel stay?
Well, that's the great thing about Canada. We have such iconic brands. We have the Chateau Laurier, Fairmont Chateau Laurier here in Ottawa.
Beautiful.
You know, 1912, beautiful castle in the city. And then we have, within driving distance, we have Four Seasons Toronto, which is the flagship Four Seasons. So proud that it's a Canadian brand. And of course, the Ritz-Carlton in Montreal, just down the street. So fantastic historic properties that have a center in Canada and that wonderful luxury experience.
Sheila, we have to go, but why should someone book with a travel agent real quick?
Expertise. I am your expert in your pocket, and I can curate the whole experience and give you experiences like Ponant and Windstar. Adventure Canada is another great company going to Sable Island that you might not have heard of.
Sheila Gallant-Halloran, a virtuoso cruise with travel. I really appreciate you coming by and highlighting some of the amazing spots right here in Canada.
Thank you so much.
Thank
It's
you,
so
Sheila.
wonderful.
Thank you. Melissa, over to you.
Well, coming up next on Your Morning Ottawa, a private recycling company says they are seeing an influx of calls from small business owners who say their recycling has simply stopped under the blue box rule changes at the start of the year. We'll learn more from the founder of Soul Recycling just ahead. Our guest is standing by in this CTV Your Morning Ottawa Lazy Boy Lounge. Here's a live look for a Centennial Glass sky cam this morning, and we could see some drizzle or some flurries this morning, snow later on this afternoon, but a mild day ahead. Some small businesses say they are no longer having their recycling being picked up after some changes that happened on January 1st. Here to tell us more about it, we have Simmer Betty, who is the owner of Soul Recycling. He is also the founder. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Melissa.
Okay, tell us about what you've been hearing lately from small businesses and from some customers.
Yeah, we got a great surge of phone calls from people that just fell through the cracks in this new recycling program rollout. A lot of small businesses were affected, and we're getting calls, like odd calls, where one side of the street of small businesses, they're getting their recycling picked up, and the other side they're not. So there's a lot of confusion. So if you did fall through the cracks and you're not getting your waste and recycling picked up, it's a problem, especially if you're a bakery or a restaurant. You cannot have garbage there. So you can obviously push your local councillors, your MPs to get your service back, or you can call us at Soul Recycling, and it's possible. There may be a silver lining, because a lot of recycling we pay for, right? So this, for small business, they look at this and they're like, hey, is this another expense? No, it could be an income for you guys, so give us a call.
All right, so tell us a little bit about your business and what you actually do.
Yeah, we're a pure recycling company. We don't landfill, we don't burn, which is incinerate. And what we practice is we try to recycle hard to recycle items and make an income out of it. So remember, these are all resources, right? They're all urban mined and mined, aluminum, plastics. They're all commodities, so they are worth value. So call us, and you might have a new income stream.
Okay, and how much recycling are you doing per month? Because it's a lot.
Yeah. We're doing 2 football fields worth of recycling each month, diverted from landfill or incineration, and we pay for it. And what it means is 15,000 tons a month.
So you saw this need to, recycle more, and so you created your business. Is that kind of what happened?
Yeah. We saw the problem. Europe, for example, a lot of countries in Europe are zero waste to landfill. There is no such thing there. So why is Canada so behind, and why are we always trying to expand landfills and capacity to handle our waste when there are other solutions? So we are a part of that solution.
And would you say we're kind of in a waste crisis here, not only in Ottawa, but kind of in North America in general?
Oh, definitely. We're digging holes in the ground just to get rid of things that we are not in use of, right? So you want to practice the 3 R's, right? Recycling, reuse, and reduce. It's crucial, right? Digging a hole in the ground does not make sense, or burning it does not make sense. We're either breathing it, or if we're digging a hole in the ground, we're eventually going to stream it into our waterways, which we already have. There's microplastics all over our water, right? So we're poisoning everything, and this is not the right way of doing it.
So what do you see some innovative solutions happening in terms of us being able to recycle more so we don't have this waste crisis?
Yeah. So part of this new rollout, the EPR system, the producer responsibility system, the silver lining in this is the streamlining, and it's focused on recycling, right? So for example, your coffee cup, we don't have one today, but wasn't recyclable for the longest time due to the plastic lining. But today, it's recyclable, right? Again, look up your local postal code if it is recycled in your area, but it should be mainstream throughout Ontario.
And so for these businesses who are saying, hey, that's me, my recycling hasn't been picked up, how can people get a hold of you for more information and to help them out?
www.soulrecycling.com.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Simmer, for joining us today and helping us tackle this recycling problem. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Melissa.
You're welcome. Rosie.
Coming up in the 8 o'clock hour on Your Morning Ottawa, there is a hidden gem in Nepean making delicious sandwiches since 2020. We introduce you to 52 sandwiches coming up.
Here are your milestone celebrations for today. And we're going to start off with Heavenly is 1. Happy first birthday to you, Heavenly, with love from Daddy and Mommy. We also have a happy 4th birthday to Finn. Lots of love from Mommy, Daddy, Granny, Pop, Nana, Papa, and best friend and cousin Carter, and Doggo and Starbuck. We have a happy 8th birthday to Luca. This is with love from Dad, Mom, and JF, brother Danik, and your sisters Olivia, all your cousins, aunts, uncles, and grandparents, and even your great-grandparents. Happy 4th birthday to Lily. Love from Mommy, Daddy, and your baby brother Liam, who was born on December 28th, 2025. That is probably your baby brother Liam in the picture with you. Oh, maybe that's a doll. I think it's a doll. Never mind. We have a happy special 101st birthday And this is going out to Gwen. Lots of love from your family. And of course, if you have a milestone, celebrate it with us. Send your birthday announcements for kids turning 13 years old or younger, and for those turning 100 years or more. Wedding anniversaries for those celebrating 50 years or more. All you have to do is send us that email, Your Morning Ottawa Milestones at ctv.ca, and be sure to get your announcements on the air.
It's Tuesday, January 13th. Statistics Canada says it will let go of 100 employees this week as the belt tightening in the federal government continues.
Always do become a patient care environment, and we've had to even go into public settings within a patient care unit. So we have like common dining room areas.
More unconventional spaces are being used to treat patients in hospitals as a brutal flu season puts further strain on the healthcare system.
And a hidden gem restaurant in Ottawa. We introduce you to 52 sandwiches. Your Morning Ottawa continues right now.
Welcome. Hope your morning's going well. I'm Rosie Edda.
I'm Will Aiello.
And I'm Melissa Lamb.
And I'm excited for 52 sandwiches, although we did find out yesterday that it doesn't mean that they're bringing 52 sandwiches. It was a little bit of a letdown for us. But then we started thinking, imagine how many sandwiches that would be to have on the menu. You'd have to come up with like just a crazy amount of lists.
And all the condiments to go with it too, right? That would keep going and going and going.
Extra pickles always.
Extra pickles
yeah, you're
always.
a pickle girl.
Yes.
Love that.
We'll see if they'll make you one during that segment. We'll get right to our news headlines. Before we get to the kitchen later on in the show, things are about to get very real in the nation's capital when it comes to job losses for federal public servants. CTV News has learned that layoffs are underway at Statistics Canada. According to a memo obtained by CTV, 100 positions are immediately affected, and those employees will be notified this week. The plan is to cut another 750 jobs over the next 2 years and to reduce the number of executive positions by 12%. According to the memo, employees who are impacted will be told by their managers. The size of the department has grown in recent years. In 2019, there were 5,400 employees. And in 2025, that grew to more than 7,200. This is just one of several departments notifying employees of upcoming layoffs. Last summer, nearly all departments were asked to find 15% in savings in the coming years.
Hospitals in our region are under pressure as some, such as the Queensway Carleton Hospital, are forced to open up more unconventional spaces to treat patients.
Hallways do become a patient care environment, and we've had to even go into public settings within a patient care unit. So we have like common dining room areas, which we've had to remove a significant amount of the tables and furniture within the space and then convert that into unconventional patient care spaces.
Much of the increased pressure is due to high numbers of influenza cases, particularly impacting people with pre-existing conditions. In a statement to CTV News, a spokesperson for the hospital says occupancy is at 114%, with medicine units at 133%, and 27 patients in the emergency department currently waiting for an inpatient bed. Hospital spokesperson adds, in the last week, non-admitted patients have been forced to wait an average of 13 hours.
Canola farmers in Canada will be keeping a close eye on Prime Minister Mark Carney's trip to China. Canola farmers are feeling the pain from a 76% tariff laid by China. Canadian pork and seafood were also included. After Canada put a 100% tariff on China-made EVs, it was announced yesterday that Saskatchewan Premier Scott Moe will join the Prime Minister at some of his meetings in Beijing. Prime Minister Carney will leave for China today after meeting with coastal First Nation leaders in BC. Well, OPP are reminding people to stay off the water after a snowmobiler went through the ice in North Grenville. Police say this happened in the Rideau River near the Burritts Rapids. They say the operator was wearing a floating suit and a traveling companion was able to call 911, thankfully. But OPP say that it's a reminder that traveling on the ice is risky and changing winter weather can cause unpredictable conditions.
Nurses and personal support workers are protesting planned job cuts at the Royal Ottawa's long-term care facility.
Ho, ho! Hot
Members of CUPE say planned cuts will affect both patients and staff and that 15 positions will be eliminated. The Royal did not confirm that, but says the staffing changes are part of routine workforce planning and that patient safety is its top priority.
James Reimer will now be stopping some pucks for the Sens.
Back center with a hard shot. And a good stop made there by Reimer.
The team has signed him to a one-year contract with a salary of $850,000. This comes amid Ullmark's leave of absence. The 37-year-old has played 525 regular season games in the NHL and last played for the Buffalo Sabres.
Looks, passes, Verhaeghe, wrist shot, scores!
Sens are hoping the move will help solidify their goaltending as they try to break free from a 4-game losing streak. Sens are back on home ice today, hosting the Vancouver Canucks. Puck drop is at 7.
This is a first for Barbie.
Mattel has released its Barbie, reflecting people living with autism. It was developed with the Autistic Self-Advocacy Network to show how children with autism interact with their surroundings.
Some of its details include bendable elbows and wrists that allow for repetitive movements. There are also accessories such as a fidget spinner, noise-canceling headphones, and a tablet for communication.
So good.
It is. Barbie ever evolving.
Yeah.
So great that, you know, Barbie's able to now be able to connect with so many different people, which is wonderful. So I love this idea.
Me too.
Fantastic. Our weather today, it's going to be a little bit messy later on this afternoon. We have some messy weather on the way, especially for that drive home tonight. Temps this morning still quite mild. We're sitting at -1, feels closer to -4. Very mild across the region, though. It's the coldest in Ottawa right now, as it's sitting at 2 in Trenton, 1 in Kingston, Brockville, 0 already for Montreal, as well as out in the valley. For us here in the city, we're expecting some flurries. We could even see some drizzle this morning. Mainly cloudy conditions this morning and through most of the afternoon, so not a lot of sunshine for us today. And then snow starting, it looks like around 3 p.m. We're expecting periods of snow to start. We could see 5 upwards of 10 centimeters from this afternoon right through until tomorrow morning. We could see it mixed with some freezing rain and some rain as well. You'll see we're kind of just on this bubble where temperatures will hover around 2 degrees. So we really could see snow. We could see more snow. We could see freezing rain, or we could see some rain. So that's why you're going to see these bands of pink and green mixed in with the snow, as we are expecting periods of rain overnight. We could even see that freezing rain as well, continuing into early morning hours tomorrow. But then late in the day on Wednesday, as temperatures are dropping down quite significantly overnight Wednesday, we'll definitely see more snow on the way Wednesday overnight and through your morning hours on Thursday. 2 degrees is our high late this afternoon, so mild conditions throughout the region. Same with in Cornwall, Kempel, 1 in Bancroft, 2 in Trenton, Kingston for today. The valley will sit at 1. Same with over in Gatineau. 3 is the high in Montreal. So in the next 7 days, you'll see temperatures going from mild to very cold on Thursday. Today is 2 degrees is our daytime high. We will reach that late this afternoon and hover there and through the evening overnight hours. 5 to 10 centimeters of snow, again mixed in with some rain, possible freezing rain as well. 4 for tomorrow, more snow on the way for Wednesday, then overnight dropping down. It's going to be cold. -13 is the low. -14 is your high on Thursday. So chilly conditions in through Thursday, overnight dropping to -17. And as you can see, it's going to stay cold in through the weekend and in through next week. We do have build-up still eastbound 417 starting at Eagleson and through Bronson, heading west on the Queensway, still seeing slowdowns beginning at Hunt Club and through Nicholas. Westbound on the 174 seeing congestion between 10th line and the 417 split.
Well, credit card bills are now coming in following that holiday shopping season, and they are arriving at a time when many Canadians are already anxious about the economy. A new survey finds that many consumers feel the year ahead will be challenging when it comes to paying bills and keeping up with household expenses. Here's CTV's Pat Forn.
If you're feeling stressed about your finances, you're not alone. Many people are concerned about the rising cost of living heading into the new year.
The salary is not sufficient to cover the basic necessity now.
I'm barely paycheck to paycheck for years. Not a good place to be, but I think it's pretty common.
According to the MNP Canadian Consumer Debt Survey, 71% expect the cost of living to worsen, 59% believe the overall economy will worsen, and 51% believe Canada's relationship with the U.S. will also get worse.
There's a lot of negativity and pessimism out there.
Whether it's paying your rent or mortgage, shopping for a new car, or buying groceries, the year ahead brings with it mounting financial challenges. For many, it's not one part of the economy, it's all of it.
Whether it's interest and inflation, housing, job market, overall economy, the cost of goods.
The Credit Counseling Society says one area of growing concern is consumers using credit cards to buy groceries and pay their monthly bills.
We're seeing more and more people that are using their credit to cover off those little necessities in life. And the problem is that's a bad cycle to be in. At some point, you run out of credit, you don't have cash. What do you do?
The survey also found 59% believe housing affordability will deteriorate, and 62% are concerned about rising poverty and inequality. Younger Canadians are feeling the most financial pressure.
Many of them have just left school. They have this large student loan debt. They've accumulated credit card debt. They're looking at the cost of housing as they start their financial journey into adulthood, and they do feel stuck.
Anyone having trouble paying their bills and getting further into debt is advised to get help. Credit counseling with a debt professional is free, confidential, and can let you know your options before your situation gets worse. Pat Foran, CTV News.
Coming up on Your Morning Ottawa, we tell you about a unique comedy competition that asks the audience which generation is the funniest. Our guests are standing by in the CTV Your Morning Ottawa Lazy Boy Lounge. And here's a live look for a Centennial Glass sky cam this morning. A cloudy start to your day could see some flurries or drizzle with snow on the way this afternoon. Good morning, Ottawa. It is 8:11. Happy Tuesday.
Today's snow report is brought to you by Camp Fortune. Let us teach you to love winter.
Here's your ski report for today. Camp Fortune has 4 of their 7 lifts open and 13 runs for the rest of the mountains. Here's what you can find across the Ottawa area. Edelweiss is closed for today. Mont Cascade has 5 of their 6 lifts open. Calabogie Peaks has all of their lifts open. And over at Borlage, you can find 9 of their 20 runs.
Erin here from Camp Fortune with your insider tip. Weekday skiing is great skiing, and at only 15 minutes from downtown, we're even close enough for a long lunch. See you on the slopes.
All right, which generation is the funniest? Talking about My Generation is a comedy competition that, with your help, hopes to solve that underlying question. Joining us is Colin Smith, the producer and the MC of the competition, and Yvel Paquette, one of the competitors. Good morning to the two of you.
Hi.
Now, before we get into talking about this, we have to ask, what generation do you think I'm from?
Probably a young millennial.
Oh, a young millennial? What do you think?
I agree, yeah.
Okay, you're correct.
Yeah.
I am a young millennial, which obviously is the best, right, guys? We're gonna
find out.
No.
Maybe the best, maybe not the funniest.
Yeah, that's right. I want to talk about how this came, because it is a really fun discussion. People probably want, our generation is the best. So how did this idea come all to fruition?
So I've been going to comedy shows for a long time, and I noticed that the audiences are really kind of siloed, right? Specific comics will have a specific demographic that they appeal to, and then another night will be a totally different demographic. And I think laughter should bring us together and not separate us, right? Like kids will be laughing at something, they say, what's so funny? They say, oh, you won't get it. So I'd like to get multiple generations in the same room, laughing at the same time and having fun.
I love that. And do you find that as you're presenting, like it all depends on like the room of people that you're actually having your skit to?
You have to adjust your skit. You have to look at the audience and go, I can't tell that joke.
On a note of like it's not going to hit, they won't even know what I'm talking about, or sensitivities, right? You have to play into that. So if you go to the show, what can you expect? What does the lineup look like?
So we've got comics from 4 generations. So we don't have everyone from the greatest generation, but we've got boomers, we've got Xers, we've got millennials or Gen Y, we've got some Gen Z or Gen Z, depending how you say it. And we don't have any alphas, but there's too young to come into the club. But you'll see people from all those generations. They're all local comics, and they've been in the scene for a while, so you're looking at a quality show. And we have a special treat with Rory Gardner, also a local boy who's one of Canada's top 10 funniest people. He's in a different city every night performing. He's been nominated for CCMA awards, so multi-talented. It's a real treat to see him in town.
I love that. And Yvel, when you look at a competition like this, right, so you're trying to find out which generation is the funniest. Would you change your whole itinerary to be like, okay, I kind of got to do something for everyone to make sure I hit all the boxes?
Not everyone, but I do pick on the Gen Zs a little bit.
Do you find they're just an easier target for you? Yeah.
I've raised one, and I've raised a Y as well. But.
Okay, so you're well aware of all the things that you can poke fun at when you're writing your material.
Yeah.
So if people are looking to come to the show, what are some of the details? Because this looks like one you don't want to miss.
Yeah, well, so Yuck Yuck has been gracious enough to let us host it there. So we've got their venue. That's on Richmond Road. You can get tickets on their website. If you want to find out more about the show, you can go to the Cue Ball Comedy website and check out events. We're going to be doing a lot more shows like this with the help of the community, and we're trying to keep it Ottawa-based, right? Showcasing Ottawa-based comics. There's been some great Ottawa comics over the years, and it's a great hotbed for comic talent.
I love that. And a night out, who doesn't need a laughter nowadays anyway? And you raised some people that created your jokes. Is that what got you into comedy, or were you a comedic actor before you even had kids?
Well, I was a class clown, and maybe a clown at work, but I think I have a good sense of humor. Can I translate that to the stage? You'll see.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Well, a class clown always knows another class clown when we see them, right? I'm sure you got that right away, too. Appreciate you coming in, talking a little bit about that competition, because it's so fun, and I can't wait. Again, for people to get tickets, where should they head to?
Go to the Yuck Yucks website, so Yuck Yucks Ottawa, or cueballcomedy.com, and go to events, and there's all the info there to get tickets.
I can't wait for millennials to win. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks a lot.
All right, coming up on Your Morning Ottawa, Double the Love. They are back. The Adult Fun Superstore is partnering with Interval House of Ottawa. We're going to take a peek outside, though, through our sky cam on George Street. Still some snow, maybe a little bit of rain to fall. So you know what? Stay inside, get some tickets to Yuck Yuck's Generation Competition, and we'll be right back.
Time to once again double the love. Donate to the Adult Fund Superstore's charitable campaign, and AFS will match your donation. And joining me in studio this morning, we have Scarlett from AFS, and we also have Taylor from Interval House of Ottawa. Good morning to you both.
Good morning. Good morning.
Let's start off with telling us about who you partnered with this month.
We partnered with the Interval House. I think we've worked with them for a few years, several years now. We really enjoy working with the Interval House.
And tell us a little bit about the Interval House and what you guys do.
Yeah, so we're a 30-bed emergency shelter for women, gender diverse folks who are fleeing gender-based violence, as well as their dependents. So that's usually kiddos, but we also we have space for other dependents as well, including pets.
Okay.
But we know that we've been doing this work for 50 years now, as of 2026, and unfortunately, we can't meet all the need that exists within the walls of our shelter. And so we offer a range of other ways people can get help, from our 24/7 crisis line. We have a text and chat service called Unsafe at Home Ottawa. We do outreach work, peer support for folks in the community that are dealing with violence. So yeah, definitely a range of ways that folks can get help if they need it.
And how do funds from a charitable campaign like the one with AFS, how do they help Interval House?
So really, there's an impact across all of the programs and services that we offer. This year, though, in particular, something that we're pretty focused on is we're opening a second stage housing project because of the real shortage of affordable housing in the city. This is going to provide a space where families can move out of emergency shelter, but continue to heal, continue to rebuild while they're on that path to trying to secure permanent housing in the community. So we're really looking at gathering funds, including through fundraisers like this one, to help us furnish that new project and to open the doors and offer all of the programs and services for survivors there that we really want to.
And can you tell us a little bit about, Scarlett, about how this campaign works? How can people donate to help support places like Interval House?
Yeah, you can come down to AFS. There's no purchase necessary. You can donate $1, $2, $5, and we'll match every single dollar that you donate.
That's amazing. And what does it mean to you to be able to have donations like this coming in from the community?
So much. It's incredible. Both the funds and what we're able to do with them for survivors, as well as the chance to get our name out there and what we do for anyone who might need help, so that they know that we are here.
And how can people find out more about Interval House if they are looking either to donate or perhaps they are in need of services as well?
Absolutely. So they can visit our website, intervalhouseofottawa.org, and our crisis line is available 24/7. If anyone needs help, they can always reach out there.
And what's the phone number for that?
Phone number for that is 613. I'm so sorry.
That's
I'm blanking
okay.
right now.
That's all right. It's on the website.
It is on the
right?
website.
It is on the website. So if you do need help, you can of course head to the website for more information. Thank you both so much for joining us today. And again, people can come on down right now to the Adult Fund Superstore, donate, and you match dollar for dollar to help proceeds to go to the Interval House. Thank you again both so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Well, a hidden gem in Nepean, making delicious sandwiches since 2010. We introduced you to 52 sandwiches coming up. And there's a live look for Skycam this morning as well. We're expecting a great day ahead. Unfortunately, not a lot of sunshine, snow on the way starting around 3 p.m. But hey, a mild day with a high of 2 this afternoon. We'll be right back.
Come on in. I'm Rosie Edda.
I'm Willow Yellow.
And I'm Melissa Lamb.
And coming up right after our newscast, we're trying out 52 sandwiches. Rosie, you got your eye out of anything out there?
I do. Just got word they actually make tuna sandwiches, which I actually do love. So I'm going to be able to get a taste of that. That's coming up just in a little bit.
There you go. Can't wait. Right to our news headlines. And things are about to get very real in the nation's capital when it comes to job losses for federal public servants. CTV has learned that layoffs are underway at Statistics Canada. So according to a memo obtained by CTV, 100 positions are immediately affected, and those employees will be notified this week. The plan is to cut another 750 jobs over the next 2 years and to reduce the number of executive positions by 12%. According to the memo, employees who are impacted will be told by their managers. The size of the department has grown in recent years. In 2019, there were 5,400 employees, and then in 2025, there were more than 7,200. And this is just one of several departments notifying employees of upcoming layoffs. Last summer, nearly all departments were asked to find 15% in savings in the coming years.
Turning now to the ongoing pressure being felt at Ottawa hospitals as flu season rages on. Last week, we told you about the general campus having to use an ambulance bay to hold patients. Now we're learning about the Queensway Carleton Hospital's use of unconventional spaces. A hospital spokesperson confirms that patients are receiving care in hallways and dining areas that have been repurposed into patient spaces. It comes as wait times have ballooned to an average of 13 hours, which is something that Ken Saunderson knows all too well after he and his wife spent nearly 15 hours waiting at the hospital for his wife to receive care for a skin infection.
Completely frustrating, aggravating, extremely tiring. Once you get into the system, the people are fantastic. The doctors are fantastic. The nurses that are providing all the service on the floor, they're fantastic too. Super nice, super caring. It's just to try and get in there that seems to be the big problem.
A hospital spokesperson says occupancy is at 114%, with medicine units at 133%.
Canola farmers in Canada will be keeping a close eye on Prime Minister Mark Carney's trip to China. Canola farmers are feeling the pain from a 76% tariff laid by China. Canadian pork and seafood were also hit after Canada put a 100% tariff on China-made EVs. It was announced yesterday Saskatchewan Premier Scott Moe will join the Prime Minister at some of his meetings in Beijing. Prime Minister Carney will leave for China today after meeting with coastal First Nation leaders in BC.
The city will be building a new standalone public washroom. It is something advocates have been pushing for years, but instead of self-cleaning, it will be up to city staff or community groups to maintain them. The city will be building a standalone public washroom on the corner of Somerset and Bank Street, hoping to break ground by the fall. They were supposed to be self-cleaning, but not anymore. Maintenance will be up to city staff or community partners.
Many other cities do it, and Ottawa's quite behind, but I'm excited that this will allow us to start to catch up. We're working on a robust plan. Either way, it's very clear that we need these facilities, and they need to go into the part of the city where we're seeing the most demand.
As for what it will look like, there will be a public consultation phase.
An office building in the city's West End is set to be converted into housing. The 7-story building at 495 Richmond Road in Westboro was the former office for the Canadian Institute for Health Information. A real estate firm has submitted an application to turn the space into 143 residential units, which would be a mix of studio, 1-bedroom, and 2-bedroom apartments. This is just one of several plans to turn office buildings into homes.
The CFIA has issued a nationwide recall for no-name brand beef burgers because of a potential E. coli contamination. The recall affects 1.36 kilogram packs of no-name beef burgers with best before dates of May 5th, 2026. There haven't been any reported illnesses associated with this recall. The CFIA says if you have one of these products, either throw it out or return it. More details are available on ctvnews.ca.
An unusual face-off between two very different animals at a zoo in Poland.
Okay, so there you go. See that little guy? That is a muntjac deer weighing in at 17 kilograms, going face to face with a massive Indian rhino, tipping the scales at nearly 1,700 kilos.
In the end, it was the deer who chased the huge rhino away. Zookeepers say that it was all fun and games for the gentle giant, but the smaller animal's defense was sincere as it was protecting its mate, which is the best. Now, that's the partner you want. Going up against one that's, what, 50 times your size? Even more so, protecting the mate.
I was even shocked to see these two in the same pen or cage or whatever you want to call it, enclosure.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Because I'm thinking, I wouldn't have been a match. I would have been expecting to see if I went to the zoo and saw the diminutive little deer and then a big rhino. I would have been like, wait, did the deer sneak in there?
Yeah, you would watch that walking by and be like, whoa, he's supposed to be in there?
Oh no, someone saved the deer.
Yeah, and then you see the deer charging like, oh, actually, no, the deer's attacking the rhino. We love that.
The deer is fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot of courage.
Absolutely. Our forecast today, it's going to be nice and mild, and we only have a couple of mild days left before we see the cold conditions return here in the city. Today's daytime high 2 degrees, so we are above average into the afternoon. The sun is up, and of course, we'll set 4:43 p.m. later on this afternoon. So a nice long sunny day in the forecast for us. Unfortunately, we won't see a lot of sunshine on the way for us today, but it will stay nice and warm. We are sitting at 0, so we have warmed up 1 degree here this morning, too, in Kingston, Trenton area, where they're getting to see some sunshine to start things off. For us, still a little cloudy, and there is still a chance we could see some drizzle or some light scattered flurries this morning into your early afternoon. Mainly cloudy skies throughout most of the day today, and then around 3 p.m. that's when we're expecting the snow to start. So you could see 3 p.m. the snow will start to fall. Periods of light snow, we could see 5 to 10 centimeters. However, the snow mixed in with some freezing rain and some rain. You'll see we're kind of right on the bubble, and we're going to see mixture of the freezing rain, which is the pink, and then green, which is the rain. So we could see a real mixture of snow, rain, freezing rain overnight and early tomorrow morning as well. And that's because temperatures will hover around 2 degrees into the overnight. So it will stay quite mild, and then temperatures will begin to drop tomorrow morning and be a little bit colder into the late part of your afternoon. 2 for us here in the city, same with in Cornwall, Brockville, Kingston, Trenton, everybody getting to see the warm conditions today. 1 is the daytime high in Petawawa as well as in Gatineau. Over the next 7 days, we'll see those temperatures drop starting tomorrow afternoon, and it will be warmest in the morning and then it kind of drop later on in the afternoon. Today is sitting at 2 degrees. This afternoon into your overnight 5 to 10 centimeters of snow. Could see it mixed in with some rain, with some freezing rain, continuing early tomorrow morning. So the drive home tonight and the drive in tomorrow morning will definitely be impacted by this system. 4 is the high for tomorrow, but we will reach that kind of late in the morning, and then temps will drop into the afternoon all the way to -13 overnight tomorrow. Thursday, Friday, cold conditions and the cold snap will continue right through to the weekend. We do have some snow on the way, so great news for our ski hills and, of course, the Rideau Canal Skateway.
Weather brought to you by Yeckendorf Rashid. Experience, knowledge, and a commitment to excellence.
Some buildup still eastbound on the 417 at Eagleson through Bronson. Heading west on the Queensway, seeing slowdowns beginning at Hunt Club to Nicholas. Westbound on the 174, congestion between 10th line and the 417 split this hour.
Here we are in your morning kitchen, and yeah, right, 52 sandwiches. Oh my goodness, you want a great sandwich? There's something about a great sandwich. You get it, you bite into it. It's so satisfying, it's comforting. And we got 52 sandwiches here with us today. We got to welcome Tara and Taylor. Good morning to you both.
Good morning, Rose.
Okay, so Tara, you opened up 52 sandwiches right in time for the pandemic.
Yes.
Tell me, how did that go?
Well, it was very slow in the beginning. We opened up in 2020, and it was a rough start.
Yeah.
It was my husband and I, and we had maybe 2 customers a day. We worked other jobs. We Just
You
did what we
you had
did
do.
to get it going. And then we had to think of ways to get the word out there because we couldn't advertise, we couldn't do anything. So we would bring free food and we would bring it to places that were open, like the dealerships. The mechanics were still working, hydro workers, city workers, and it just went from there.
Okay, so Taylor, you are customer service manager.
I am.
Let's talk about 52 Sandwiches. And as I understand, it's basically a family-run business, right?
It is.
Tara, that's your niece,
That's my
Taylor,
niece, yes.
right? And so tell me something about a sandwich. What makes a really good sandwich?
So I think what sets our sandwiches aside from everyone else would be our bread. So here we have our jalapeno cheese bread, we have our Italian herb bread, and our white. Our bread's made in-house every day, comes out multiple times a day as we're selling out there. Our bread's it cold ferments for about 72 to 96 hours. It gives us a richer, deeper taste.
Okay.
And it's more complex than others. I think that's really what sets us apart from everyone else.
Where are you located?
At 52 and Terry's, thus the 52
That's the name.
There you
So
go. That's
you
where the
can't
52
forget.
comes
That's
from.
Where it comes
okay,
from.
what's one of the most popular sandwiches on the menu here? Because I've got Stephen here who's chomping at the bit. Can't wait to try one. So what would you suggest?
Our candied club. So our candied club is chicken breast. It's all real chicken breast. So you always have an option of grilled or breaded. Here's our grilled one. It has cheddar cheese, candied bacon, and then lettuce, tomato, onion, along with our jalapeno lime aioli. So give it a shot there.
Oh, there he goes. Man, you just went right in, just dove right in. It's so layered with, like, you got cheese, you got chicken, you got the lettuce.
The candied bacon, we candy about 130 pounds a week of candied bacon.
And the candied bacon is on top there?
It's on the bottom.
It's on the
cheese,
bottom.
bacon,
I
chicken.
see.
Yeah.
And you know what? No words, meaning a number one. Very nice, right, Stephen?
That's when you know.
That is so good. And all kinds of toppings. And can you make your own sandwich? Can you come in?
You can. Yeah.
Oh,
we
looks
have
good.
one on our menu. It's called the custom sandwich, and you get to pick your meat, your cheese, and every sandwich you get to pick your toppings, your dressings.
I love it.
This is our forget about it there.
What is this forget about it? What's that all about?
So that's another one of our most popular deli sandwiches. If you're looking to go away from the chicken, it has hot and mild Genoa salami, hot and mild capicolo, prosciutto, and Havarti cheese.
That's beautiful.
This one you get to choose all your toppings by yourself there, as many free toppings as you like, as well with dressings.
Super flavorful.
Yes.
I would imagine, right?
Yes.
This is bursting with flavor. You bite into that. You got dessert as well, chocolate chip cookies.
We do.
Yes, we do.
Fresh out of the oven throughout the day. Our bread and our baked goods, everything's done in-house.
Tara, why is that so important?
It just adds to, you know, who makes homemade stuff anymore?
Right. You guys do.
We do.
You do.
Yeah,
Right.
they're
Which
long
is so
days. We're there
nice.
very early, and you know.
Okay. So when are you open? You open for lunch into dinner? How's it working?
We are open Monday to Friday.
Okay.
10 to 3.
Oh, cool. In the mornings, we can get a late morning sandwich.
So everyone thinks that, you know, why aren't you open later? But we're there at 4 in the morning, starting to bake stuff, and the ovens are on. Everything is baked and cooked in-house, so it takes a lot of prep time just to open at 10 o'clock.
We're so glad that you came by with these wonderful, delectable sandwiches and dessert here. Once again, 52 sandwiches. You opened during pandemic. Now look at you guys. You're thriving.
We're booming.
Got to come down and visit. And it's 52 Ann Terrace Drive, right?
Correct.
Oh, my gosh. This is a tuna sandwich.
is.
That's for you,
Woo,
Rosie. Baby, I got to bite into this. I will bite into it after I let everyone know that, first again, thank you so much for coming by. This looks amazing. And if you know of a great chef or restaurant you think we should feature on Your Morning Ottawa, let us know. Your Morning Ottawa at ctv.ca. And here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. Yeah, looking like a fairly cloudy day, but still, isn't our city just gorgeous? We'll be right back after this.
Taking a look at our Centennial Glass Sky Cam, and still a little snowy out there. Temperatures mild for another day, maybe two, before the cold temperatures arrive. Well, we got Anne-Marie joining us from FemFox because they're celebrating 10 events, and then we're going to have a little performance as well. Good morning to you.
Nice to see you, Will.
It's so great to be here, and I love when we have a performance on our show. Can we talk a little bit about FemFox and what differentiates it from other events? Because it is really special.
It is really special. It takes place at the Great Canadian Theatre in the nice big theatre, which is a gorgeous venue. And we've had some amazing artists over. We started around 2019. So it's not 10 years, but it's 10 events because we do a few a year. And the idea started, it's a very grassroots. We started off wanting to highlight female artists, women artists, or women identifying artists, just to give them a boost, because it's all the boys get all the attention. So it's nice that we really want to help out the ladies. And we've had Susie Vinnick, Angelique and Corinthia Francis, so many amazing artists. And the great thing about FemVox is that it's always like a song circle of 4 artists, but before the event we pair them up and we ask them to co-write a song.
Oh, nice.
And then they present the song at the event. So it's a song, you'll never hear it before, and we were hoping maybe someday record all these songs on an album or something, but we'll need to write a grant for that.
We always have to be safe on the rights category.
Yeah, but so that is really special. And because we pair them up cold, sometimes they don't know each other. And it's like, you got to write a song for the event, so they email or they Zoom or they see each other in person perhaps. And at the end of the event, you can sense that the artists love the experience and they love meeting another person that they had to write with. And it's just really a beautiful, intimate soiree. And the audience loves it, but to me, the big success factor is that the artists have really enjoyed the experience.
Well, I love that. And we're actually getting a special taste of that today. And I think we're in for a wonderful performance. What do you think?
We are in for a great performance. Malia Rogers is going to be with us on Sunday, January 18th. And also Amanda Rayon.
Yeah.
And Kelly Lee Evans, who is a Juno Award-winning musician, so you don't want to miss it. And
look at that lineup. That's what we like to see.
There it is. And so Kelly Lee and Malia have started work, and they're co-writing a song.
Oh, well, we're going to have to wait to see that. But Malia, I think that we've waited long enough. I'll let you take it away for now.
Malia Rogers.
What would happen if I broke the frame? What would happen if I said that I don't recognize myself when I am alone? Maybe he was in the right to say, you're not who you think you are, you're not who you think you are, you're not who you think you are. 'Cause I don't know. Change directions with the sun. Tell me who I should become to make this work. And there's something you should know. I will paint myself to match you. I've no colors of my own. And if I ever had them, they bled away a long time ago. What would happen if I told you that I don't recognize myself when I'm alone? And maybe he was in the right to say, you're not who you think you are, you're not who you think you are, you're not who you think you are. What would happen if I broke the frame? What would happen if I said that I don't recognize myself when I'm alone?
Well, it's time to check in with Bill Carroll from the Morning Rush on News Talk 580 CFRA to see what's going on this Tuesday. Good morning, Bill. What's on the mind today?
Well, I want to talk about this new report that shows we are North America's most livable city. I'm excited about that.
Oh, hey, I like that. A nice positive note for our Tuesday.
Exactly. And I'm coming up on my 10th anniversary of my arrival after one of the worst storms of the century in Ottawa. 10 years I've been here. And can I tell you something? I hated it. The whole idea, seriously. I'd come to Ottawa a few times on business, usually to cover something on Parliament, a government falling or an important budget or something. And I thought it was the most boring place. This really small town trying to pass itself off as a city. The idea of coming to live here was my wife wanted to leave Los Angeles, and we chose Ottawa as kind of a compromise between her family in Quebec and mine in Toronto. And anyway, here we were. 10 years later, how dumb was I? This is an amazing city. I don't want any of us to take it for granted. It reminds me of Toronto in the 80s when I was young and the city was not overwhelmed yet and not all bogged down with traffic and overbuilt. And, you have everything you need in a big city. We have great museums. We have a professional hockey team, although this season they're starting to not look very professional. But we have everything you need. But it's not too big yet. Yes, we have traffic, but it's not end of the world traffic. It's just, the only thing about it is the weather. And even that I'm becoming used to. As I was driving along the canal last week when the canal was open for skating and people were outside and laughing and having fun. There's just something beautiful about being driving along Colonel By and seeing the Rideau Skateway open and people outside having fun with their skates on, getting around. So, I just think we need to take a moment to look at it. It is a very livable city and a great place to raise a family. I'm happy my kids grew up here.
Well, as a hometown kid from when I was born, Bill, we're so happy that you joined us, and congratulations on 10 years here in the nation's capital, because it is the most wonderful place. And you know what? Cheers to 10 more.
Yeah, and it's not quite 10 years yet. It's coming up shortly, so you still have time to buy me a gift.
Who says I don't already have you one? You don't know.
I'm sure you do.
Sneaky for you.
Yeah, I'm fairly sure you didn't, because you didn't realize it was 10 years until I just told you. So get shopping, okay?
I'm just saying my 10 years was last week, so we're just coming up at the same time. I already knew that.
10 years? You left for a while. It doesn't count.
No, come on. It still counts. All right, Bill. We'll chat with you a little bit later on. Have a good day, my friend.
Bye-bye.
You can listen to the Morning Rush of Bill Carroll on News Talk 580 CFRA weekdays from 6 until 10 a.m.
All right, we're going to take a quick final look at the forecast, Melissa.
That's right. We are expecting some snow later on today, starting around 3 p.m. Late this afternoon is when we're expecting that snow. 5 to 10 centimeters. Now, because temps hovering around 2 degrees, as you can see this afternoon into your evening, we could see it actually mixing with some rain, freezing rain. So messy weather on the way tonight into your early morning hours tomorrow. And then after tomorrow, that cold snap moves through. Look at those temperatures and how much they drop by 10 degrees from Wednesday to Thursday. So high of -14 Thursday, and then cold in through the weekend.
Hey, but we're still doubling our daytime high until tomorrow before it gets cold, right?
Exactly.
So a little positivity. And
there you go.
It is great for people that want to go skating and do those winter activities, because it was so exciting that the canal was open and then all of a sudden had to temporarily close. It's for the good of the rink. But hopefully with some colder days, that canal can get open.
There you go. Here's a look at what's on the show tomorrow. The city of Ottawa is falling behind on its electric bus rollout. And one city councillor says there needs to be more transparency around the state of the city's bus fleet. Plus, we are paging Dr. Paul about the health benefits of music. And we'll tell you more about a free mental health workshop for youth.
I love that talk about music too, because I went to audio engineering and music production school, and we had a class that talked about the scientific benefits of music and what it does to your brain and how it can positively influence you, bring up some of those memories by a couple of notes. It's so fascinating.
It's so true. And I always think about when you're driving the car and you're just listening to the radio, and then all of a sudden a song comes on that's associated with a positive memory, and it can just instantly flip your mood and put you on the best foot forward throughout the rest of the day. So that's also why I love music.
Hear, hear. Looking forward to that tomorrow. All right, that's all from us here at CTV, your Morning Ottawa for January 13th. We'll see you right back here tomorrow morning.